Hey, SBG solution-based gang, like, share, subscribe. Say no to rim, brothers, mothers, fear and sell no good suckers. Hype him up, hype him up. Shouts out, showroom, Bracy in the wildest. Wake up morning, show salute, big dog, shout out to the lurk. PH, Diva, salute, Brownsville, SBG solution-based gang.
What you mean? Yeah. Oh, so maybe.
Let's go. Good day, everyone. Damn, I'll be wilding out. I'm busy writing my life away. I'm busy writing my life away. Not paying attention to anything. Well, I'm paying attention to things. I forgot how to, you know what I mean? I done forgot to do this part. God damn. Shout out to my brother Noopse. So much, brother Noopse. How I sound? Am I coming through clear? Can you hear me? Do I sound far away? Oh my God. Shout out to brother Noopse with the yeah. Shout out. Shout out to brother Noopse. Yeah. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, brother Noopse, holding me down. I appreciate you, man. You know, me and brother Noopse been all right. We started off fighting, but we good. I think a lot of people, they started off thinking that I was one way, but when they actually hear the words that I'm saying, they realize that I'm not the way how they thought I was. Good day to you, Wanda. How you doing, beautiful? Corinne Mackey, always holding me down. Thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you so much, Corinne. Always hitting the like and commenting. It means so much. Thank you so much. What up, Lee? I see you, Lee. Lee talking about he hit 3 milli. Yeah, that's that shit right there. I'm working on it, Lee. You see, I'm getting a little bit better with understanding and trying to be consistent with that thing that you taught me. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? So,
can y'all tell me, does the microphone sound good when I talk this close, or is it actually coming through a different, you know what I'm saying? Or does this sound actually good? Does it sound like I'm in a room with you? Yeah, ladies. Hello, ladies.
Sound. Okay. And I'm trying to get better with finding time or putting out, like, did anybody check out the new video that I just dropped with the Nike? I thought I did pretty well. What do y'all do? What do y'all think about the Nike one? Is it just a story like I did good, but it's just a story that you just don't give a F about? If that's what it is, this sound way better. Like, is it? Did I do a good job on the Nike video? But it's just that y'all don't give a damn about my opinion. What is it? You didn't watch it yet? Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that, Wanda. Corinne Mackey says, "I love my morning show." SBG, thanks as always for member for 15 months. That is such a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. What else? Oh, I was going to try to. I need to add because I was writing. I was trying to write my description of what I'm going to talk about today. Because sometimes, because y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but I be writing down my thoughts right before I go on stage, or when I come up with an idea, I just start writing and typing and getting things moving and shaking. I try to write down my thoughts, try to write down whatever quick jokes I have in my head, and try to just keep building from that train of thought is what I try to do. Good day to you, Miss J. So I really be out here writing, goddammit. I just recently started using Chat GPT to help me with some thumbnails because I was doing that the hard way too. I ain't getting to letting Chat GPT write for me yet. I don't know. I feel a certain way. You feel me? I feel a certain way. So I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. That part is a little sketchy. That part's a little sketchy. However, I did not watch this, but I did find it interesting. So I wasn't able. The red one is good. All right, thank you, Miss J. And so I seen that Stephen A. Smith hosted like he hosted some kind of a debate between Officer Tatum and a guy which I'm assuming is on the opposite side, and he's trying to moderate. I have not watched it. I didn't get a chance to, so I'm not able. So everything I'm saying is going to be off the cuff because I did not watch it, so I did not get to write for it. But what I would say is this: I do find it interesting that we got people like Steve. It ain't just a small so-called blackity blacks out here that is concerned with this Nolan Wells case. There's something strange about it. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, whether if it is some foul play or if it's not foul play in it. Either way, I think we are going to get, hopefully, to the bottom of the case because this case is just a little too wild for us as a whole not to be, communicating about it. This is what I do like that, we have even celebrities and people that have big platforms able to have a conversation about it. So we have two different perspectives. We got the Coons perspective, and then we got, the pro-black, and then we got the people in the middle. Shout out, thank you so much. Wanda said, here's my 99 cents or my contributions using the new math. Thank you so much, Wanda. That means tremendous. Thank you so much. So much appreciation for that. Thank you.
About to be a situation.
Conversation. Good day, Sharon. Whose feathers you ruffling today? LOL. Hit the like button. You know I'm gonna do it. You know I'm gonna ruffle something. You know what I mean? I got to leave with something. Shout out to Miss J. Member for 23 months. Thank you so much. Such appreciation for that. Brazy. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know what? And I would think I'm gonna drop the link early this time so we can all just review this together because I don't know if y'all seen it. I haven't seen it, so we could just review this shit together and see if anything good is gonna come out of this. Is Stephen A. is gonna be in the middle and just allow the information to come out and call it how he see it, or is he gonna lean to Officer Tatum's side? Is he gonna lean towards the pro-black side? What is gonna actually happen? Is Stephen A. Smith, like, what is he? I don't know what side of the coin he's actually on, Shiesty Bum. That's the T. We talking about that man's hairline. I don't know. I don't know if Stephen A. Smith is on our side. And if Stephen A. Smith is on our side, what does that mean? That means that this shit is really effed up. If we could get somebody like Stephen A. Smith to be leaning on our side of the mentality, meaning that something nefarious happened to this young man, that he did not just happen to drown. That for a fact, somebody that Stephen A. that is kind of he leans to, I don't know how to say it. He kind of leans to the white side. He does. God damn. Sorry, Stephen A. Shit. But you kind of do. But if we could get Stephen A to be leaning towards this side, it shows that it's something seriously wrong with this case for somebody like Stephen A to say, hey, it's something wrong. We need to really look into it. So shout out to Stephen A if he does that. I have no idea if he does. If anybody's seen it, you can let me know. But it should be interesting nonetheless. I think it should be good for TV. You know what I'm saying? I think it should be good for TV. What ADS? I think this should be good. Steven about that coin. He don't really care. Damn. Shiesty. Say it isn't so. I hope Stephen A cares just as much as you care about your blunts. I hope Stephen A cares as much about this case as you care about your blunts, girl. Shit. All right. Let's see. Yeah, he look like he's sweating already. All right. We know where Officer Tatum stands. We know where Officer Tatum stands. Like, we know that Officer Tatum, he ain't for us and he ain't by us. He might be biased, but he ain't by us. That's for sure. Officer Tatum is a true life Let me not do that. Let me not call nobody name. I'm sorry, Shiesty, you're a little sophisticated. It looked like he's stressed already. This is the very beginning. I ain't skipped past nothing. I don't got no timestamps. Hopefully, I don't got none of that. So this is how it start. He looked like he's sweating already. God damn.
What's up, everybody?
What up with you?
Welcome to the latest edition, the special edition of Straight Shooter.
Thank you for having us,
As always,
Steven.
I appreciate the love and support that y'all have been giving me. Thanks so much for all the love and support.
We appreciate you,
Just continue
Steven.
to support Straight Shooter. Just go to Stephen A. Smith, Straight Shooter, and obviously
Uh-huh.
you'll be the latest member of the Straight Shooter family.
No
a
doubt.
lot of stuff to get into.
What else?
No doubt.
Okay.
I'm going to have another panel today. It's going to be my fourth
Awesome.
panel.
We are
And
part
it's
of the panel,
involving
y'all.
the case of Nolan Wells,
Mm-hmm.
the 18-year-old college football player out of Ocean
Right.
Springs, Mississippi,
Mm.
who died.
Damn. How?
Body was found July 6th, 2 days after
Okay.
going away with some friends on July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are talking about this story because according
Yes,
to
we
the
are.
reports, he was a black dude and he was the only black dude with a few white dudes, and they all came back alive and he didn't.
He did not.
Clearly, since that time, we've learned
What we
via
learned?
reporting on the part of some people,
That
via
what?
an autopsy report and other things, that there are some conflicting facts
Okay.
that
I
need
like
to
that.
be brought to
Conflicting,
light.
yeah.
And I think that it's time to have a discussion about this
Okay.
from the vantage point of two
Cool.
completely different sides.
Okay, good.
One is
Good.
a conservative, one is a liberal, one's a
Damn.
former police officer, one is a civil rights attorney and a legal mind. It's a lot to get into, make no mistake about it. It's going to be
Okay.
Officer Tatum on the right. It's going to be Charles F. Coleman Jr., civil rights attorney, on the left.
Okay.
And there's clearly a lot of things to get into, conflicting accounts. One friend claimed Wells chose to stay behind to talk to a girl. Wells' family strongly disputes this, stating they raised him to never
Absolutely.
separate from his group.
Right. How
There's a
did they know
boat
that?
issue. Phone records and dispatch audio indicate the friend's boat suffered a mechanical failure around 4 p.m. as they left the island when calling for a tow.
Okay.
The operator stated everyone on board was in good health. There's also the issue of Nolan Wells' body being found after being reported missing by his mother near midnight.
Damn.
A multi-agency search was launched. A
Mhm.
National Park Service ranger found
Okay.
Wells' body floating
Okay.
face down on the northwestern tip of Horn Island on
Yeah.
July 6th. Again,
Mhm.
civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump is representing the family.
Right.
And Officer Tatum, as in Brandon Tatum, traveled to Mississippi, interviewed one of the boys involved
he
in the
did.
case.
Okay.
But according to him, he probably
thinks.
interviewed several folks in attendance that July 4th day. So there's a lot of stuff to get into. And without further ado, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I know very little about this case other than what I've read and what I've seen on television. I've heard the reports in
That's a very interesting comment. to state, in my opinion. For him to say he knows nothing about this case, it's a very interesting point to point out. Number one, how are you going to moderate a case that you don't know anything about? That's weird. What up, Rilla? Good day to you, Rilla. Rilla, how are you going to be able to moderate and not know nothing about the case? How you want to bring all this information and you want to bring the information to the forefront without knowing about the case? I find that as I think that is a way to take out his personal ideology of the case. To say, I don't really know too much about it. He don't want nobody to ask him what's his stance on it. So he pushed out the idea that he knows nothing about it. So this way you don't ask him about it. Make sure y'all hand that like and the share button so we can get this out further out into the world, into the YouTube world, so we can get more people here, we can get more wild conversations, and let's keep on building together. That's the only way this works. I do my part by the entertainment part. You do your part by hitting that like. Very simple and simplistic. This is how we can get a nice, beautiful dance together. Don't you want to dance with me? I know you fellas want me to spin you around. Oh, I think so. I think it was preemptive. But let's check it out. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong.
Find one thing, nevertheless, we're hearing other things come to light. So rather than speculate any longer, let's get to the bottom of it to the best that we can at this particular moment in time, with one autopsy having been done, another autopsy being performed, and evidence emanating from that's been deemed incomplete, to say the least. There's a lot to get into. So without further ado, here we go. Get your ears perked up.
Okay.
Get your thought process
what
circulating
up, Otis?
and percolating. It's time to get into it right now. My first guest is a civil rights attorney, a former federal prosecutor, and an MS Now legal analyst. He writes the What Matters Now newsletter on Beehive, and you can catch him on his podcast, The Brothers Briefing. He is joined by
the Beehive. Is that Beyonce sponsored? I wonder. Is it Wu-Tang Clan?
Former Arizona police officer turned conservative YouTube political commentator and host of the Officer Tatum podcast. Please welcome to the show Charles F. Coleman Jr. and, of course, Officer Brandon Tatum. Good afternoon, fellas. How y'all doing? How's everything?
Blessed.
I'm
doing well, brother. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Charles Coleman Jr., let's start off with you.
Okay.
What can you tell us? I mean, the Nolan Wells case has been in the news for nearly 3 weeks now. Coleman. For those who may not be aware of the case or have not kept up with the facts, just to recap, he was an 18-year-old college football player from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. On July 4th, he and a group of friends traveled by private boat to Horn Island, an uninhabited barrier island off the Mississippi coast. Wells was the only black person on the boat. Wells was last seen on the island around 3 p.m. His friends returned to the mainland without him. And as a result, ultimately, a couple of days later, he was found dead. Charles Coleman Jr., at this particular juncture, what's on your mind in terms of this case? What's missing? What are your thoughts?
Let's go.
Well, Stephen A., we just saw the family release their independent autopsy results yesterday, which were conducted by Dr. Roger Mitchell, who is the president of the National Medical Association. And those results were inconclusive. They were able to establish that Nolan Wells did not die by accident, that he did not die of natural causes, but at the same time that they were not able to establish that this was a homicide. In fact, those results established that it was not a homicide. Now, one important caveat to note is that the chief medical officer from the state of Mississippi, the sheriff's office, removed the throat from Nolan Wells's autopsy when their autopsy was conducted first. We have not heard the results of the state's autopsy.
Why not?
But we know that when Roger Mitchell examined the body for the family, that the throat and other organs have been removed. So that your listeners understand, that's not abnormal. That is something that takes place normally during the case of an investigation and of an autopsy. So there's nothing that was wrong there. But at this point, Dr. Roger Mitchell, who did the independent autopsy from the family, has not been.
It don't sound like he gonna come here for no smoke. Hey, Rilla, I'm not sure about this. This doesn't sound like homeboy's coming here for the smoke. I like the color palette. I like the color palette. The color palette looks good. Shiesty. Shiesty, I like his color palette. However, I don't like that he just like, walking on eggshells around this situation. What do you mean? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Why are you not saying, hey, we understand you took his organs out, but why you did not send the organs to the independent autopsy? Come on, Charles. We need you to have a little bit more oomphness in it. You're a goddamn lawyer. Stop playing nice. Or are you here tap? You better not be out here tap, tap, tap. I need you to be with some goddamn fire and some smoke. I think he got both. I think the sport coat is salmon and his inside shirt is fuchsia. I think I'm Greg Adams. I mean, damn, not Greg Adams. I think Charles Coleman Jr. looks good. I don't like the fact that he's not holding no smoke. He should have had smoke from the jump and say, hey, why wasn't his throat? Why his throat and the rest of his organs wasn't sent to the independent person that's going to do the autopsy so they can make a decision on what they got. So I don't like that. We understand that it is normal procedure to take out the throat, but God damn it, we need to know, did he drown or did he die before? So meaning that if it shows that he took on water or whatever that is before, or was it after? So we need to know, did he drown or did he die and then got thrown into the water? You know what I'm saying? I want to know. Can somebody please let me know, what did the throat autopsy tell you? Because you didn't tell us, the public, you didn't tell us what the autopsy say about the throat, and you did not give it to the independent person that is doing the autopsy. You should have gave the throat to him after you finish your conclusion. And Charles should have been on their ass for that too, because that's very suspicious.
Able to confirm any sense of foul play as of yet that was undecided or undecisive. That does not mean that foul play may not have occurred. It just means that the autopsy that was conducted by the family did not show that conclusively.
So what's your argument?
Some trauma to, some potential trauma to Nolan Wells' head. That was not something that he was able to explain as being the result of foul play. And we have yet to hear the state's
So what is your argument, sir?
And what they found or what their findings were. You may recall, and listeners may recall, that initially the sheriff's office said that they had no reason to suspect that foul play was afoot. And what I would say that this autopsy confirms from the family is that while that cannot be certainly confirmed, it still can't be ruled out. So finally, there are 60 witnesses that have been interviewed in the course of this investigation by the sheriff's office.
Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Like this is, I don't know. This don't sound like somebody that wants. It don't sound like it's somebody that wants to smoke. This sound like somebody that's going to play softball to me. Like, now we need a little bit more fire from you, Mr. Salmon and Fuchsia. We need a little bit more smoke, bro. They need to remove the throat to check the lungs if he died from drowning. is what I heard. That is what you heard, but so now what's the conclusion? Because they didn't give the problem that I have with this whole thing. That's fine. You took all those things out. You took the lungs out. You took the throat out to check to see if he drowned. So the problem is the state didn't determine if he drowned. And then you also did not give all those organs that you took out after you did your autopsy on those organs. You did not pass it to the independent person that was doing the autopsy so they can now figure out if it was some foul play. David, you know it is summertime and I'm giving out block parties. So if you can't stick to the conversation, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all grown. Who said it wasn't foul play? Who said it wasn't foul play? Maybe I'll let it play.
Office. There's likely going to be a presentation to the grand jury, and we don't know what the toxicology report will show from Nolan Wells because much of that is in the hands of the state. But as of right now, this is where things stand. And as a former prosecutor, I want to know what the state's autopsy is going to say and what are the witness accounts that they are going to put forward in the grand jury.
And also, we know like the grand jury shit, like we try to act like that shit ain't really nuts. Let me stop cursing. That ain't really much of nothing. The grand jury ain't really much of nothing, clearly. At least not in Mississippi. They ain't doing their goddamn job in Mississippi, as we could see from the outside looking in. Maybe they doing everything in their power, but from the outside looking in, it don't look so. And that's another reason why it's getting so much attention. That even somebody that Stephen A. Smith that leans a little bit more towards the right, in my opinion, is trying to have a conversation about it. But hopefully it's going to be an honest one because we know men like Officer Tatum, they come in these conversations with bad faith. These men that like easy one, he comes into these type of conversations with bad faith. He don't want to get nowhere. He don't want to have no type of understanding. And we need to have it. We need to get, and we're gonna have discussions, at least attempt to have it in good faith. Or Charles, you need to come straight up with the smoke because Officer Tatum ain't gonna be so kind. He ain't gonna have no good faith. So you trying to play it down the middle and not sound like you giving any, bruh. We need to hear the smoke so we can get this young man the proper attention that he needs, God damn it. So we can get down to the bottom of it. All we want is the truth. Whether it's foul play or not foul play, all we want is the truth. Let's see what Officer Tatum said.
Officer Tatum, you personally interviewed, you traveled to Mississippi, from my understanding, you to personally interview one of the young men who left the island without Nolan. Why should the public trust whatever account is coming from them right now, in your estimation, based on what you've learned? First things first, I shouldn't say that. First things first, what did you deduce from the conversation
you had
from one of the friends that was with Nolan Wells? What did you take away from that you'd like the public to know?
Well, Stephen A., I want to make sure this is clear. I actually spoke to all the boys that were being accused. I spoke to family members. I spoke to also their attorneys. It's just that the one young man had the I wouldn't say courage, because others had reasons why they didn't want to come on the camera, but he was able to come on the camera, and I interviewed him. And I also interviewed another young man who was Black, who was there, who had his own personal accounts of what happened.
They say this shit ain't about race, but you want to point out the one Black person that you interviewed? You want to say that this shit ain't about race, but you want to point out the one Black person that you interviewed? Highly interesting. What boys didn't do it? What boys didn't do it, Derek? How do you know those boys didn't do it? How y'all so quick to say that they did not do it? How y'all so quick to say that it was no foul play? How can you have such a stance? if those boys didn't do it, was it some other boys you saying that did it? Is that why you saying that, Derek? Are you saying it because there's some other boys that might have done it?
I'm not asking people to believe or not believe. I just wanted to get people the information. So nobody had heard from the young boys. Nobody had heard their accounts. And a lot of misinformation was put out there, some intentionally, some maybe not intentionally, but they were it was very detrimental and not conducive for the investigation into Nolan Wells' death. It was punitive. They came out and started with race.
What? They came on and started with what? Randy, we are talking about this. Stick to the topic at hand. Don't point fingers other ways, please. Stick to the topic at hand. Don't start trying to point fingers and deflect and all this. Stick to the topic at hand, sir. I don't know why y'all deflected and talking about something happened in Chicago. Y'all love to commentate about Chicago. It's a huge city. It's a lot of people there. So sorry, a place with a lot of people, things happen. Stick to the damn conversation.
It had to be something nefarious because these boys are white for any other reason. So I wanted to go out and hear the full story. And what I deduced from the interview and talking to everybody is that these young.
So I just want to know, so why is he saying they had to do something? Who said, has anybody ever, who is saying these things? Randy, but it's a random true facts for no reason. You can say a lot of true facts, but if it don't got nothing to do with the damn story that we are talking about, what's the point of bringing it up? The earth has gravity. That's a true fact. So what? It don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about. What you bringing up a random fact for? It's dumb as hell. Who said that it's just because they were? Let me see what he said. Let me make sure. I don't want to misquote the man. Let me see
Be
what he
something
said.
nefarious because these boys are white, instrumental and not conducive. Heard from the young boys. Nobody had heard their accounts, and a lot of misinformation was put out there. Some intentionally, some maybe not intentionally, but it was very detrimental and not conducive for the investigation into Nolan Wells' death. It was punitive. They came out and started with race. It had to be something nefarious because these boys are white.
It had to be something nefarious because these boys are white. Who said that? Who said this? Officer? Who said that? I'm curious to understand who said that, officer. Have y'all heard people say that? That it had to be? Can y'all point me in a direction to the people that said that it had to be? We need more likes. All right, we're going to start shutting shit down if y'all don't hit the like button. Y'all tripping. I will put this shit on members only, and y'all ain't going to be able to talk to nobody. Hit the like button. I don't know why that'd be so difficult. Hit the like button. Why y'all make this so difficult? I don't believe anybody has said something nefarious happened. Make sure y'all hitting the super chat, super cash app, and all those type of things as well. Tired of y'all start acting like y'all don't know how to hit the like button. I don't know why that's such a big thing. I don't know why, but we're going to get into it. I don't think nobody has said that something had to happen because they are white. We're saying that something is very suspicious about a group of friends going out on a boat and one of them ain't coming back. That is suspicious as hell. PZ, you can't find the like button? All right. You don't want people to hit the like button for me? Block. It is summertime. I told y'all we'll have a block party in this joint. Y'all better get it together.
For
That's
any
you,
other
man?
reason. So I wanted to go out and hear the full story. And
Since
what I
when not my
deduced
babe.
from the interview and talking to everybody is that these young boys had nothing to do with what ended up happening to Nolan Wells. And also they were best friends. I mean, these kids had so many pictures, so many text messages of them being closer to Nolan than any other friend group. And also one thing that shocked me was that this was an island, not secluded, not an island with 5 or 6 people on it. It was an island where there was thousands of people there, hundreds of boats, and also a lot of people could verify the statements that was made from some of these young men. So I really wish that we could have started at a point to say, what happened to Nolan Wells? Let's work together as a community. Let's talk to these young men, talk to other people, and let's find out what happened to Nolan instead of jumping the race.
We tried to jump to what happened to Nolan. That's exactly what we wanted, right? Shout out to Love Wisdom. Blue is for the bullshit coming out of Tatum. We need some more blue. Let me hear some of your best blue jokes for his bullshit from Officer Tatum. Give me some more of that blue with your best jokes. Thank you so much. Officer Tatum, I don't know. Lady D Flow, I don't know. Derek Woods, what you think? I think people in general are gonna have to have an understanding that you got to be very careful when you're the only person of your race there, especially when you're around dangerous things like water and mountains and the wilderness, camping, mountains. You wanna go climb up a goddamn cliff and you're the only person of your race? You better be careful. We seen what happened in Peru, right? Recently. That young lady went up there to go ahead and bungee jump. Somehow they forgot the goddamn bungee. They forgot the bungee. You have to be self-aware when you are the only person of your race around a group. You just have to. It's not safe for you to not be self-aware. Yes, Corinne Mackey, yes. In Peru, this young lady, 22 years old, she went to go bungee jump. She was the only person. She was a white woman. She was in Peru, 22 years old. She went bungee jumping and they forgot to put the goddamn bungee on her and they threw her right off the damn cliff. Look at easy dumbass. This is what I'm saying. That a lot of people they just want to have bad faith arguments all the time. I don't know why people like Easy just want to have bad faith arguments, just like Officer Tatum, just in bad faith. Don't want to have nothing honest. It's nothing honest about you. It's crazy. Insane.
Officer Tatum, how do you know that it was misinformation that was put out there? How did you come to the conclusion that something was misinformation? Explain that. Is it just according to their account or something else?
No. Initially, I knew it was hogwash because when Al Sharpton and them got on TV, they automatically made an inference to say, well, it was something that had to happen because these kids were white. It was white kids with one black.
Do he have any proof of what he just said? What he just accused them of doing? What he just accused Al of doing? Do anybody have any proof of that? Okay, you want to just want to bark from the chat to talk to me? You know what? It is the summertime block party. Keep playing with me. Like, what proof do Tatum have of what he just said about Al? That was a crazy accusation.
According to their account or something else?
No. Initially, I knew it was hogwash because when Al Sharpton and them got on TV, they automatically made an inference to say, well, it was something that had to happen because these kids were white.
I don't understand somebody like Easy. Why are you here? If you don't like me, you want to flag my channel. Why are you here? You don't have to be here. I don't understand. Y'all supposed to be grown men. Act like it, please. Like you're a grown man talking about you want to flag a YouTube channel, bro. And moderators, why y'all, you know what? I'm about to get rid of all the fucking. All right. All right. Moderators, you see somebody that just want to be obtuse and is just trying to cause trouble for no reason. Like I'm not with all that. Just I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Right, this ain't the place for you just to be looking for male attention today. I understand you want my attention, but today is not the day for you to be an attention-seeking hoe. It's not the day for it. I need to understand. Can somebody please send me the video when Al said what Officer Tatum just
made an inference to say, well, it was something that had to happen because these kids were white.
Where Al Sharpton said, well, something had to happen because these kids are white. I didn't say he lied. I said I want to see where Al Sharpton says something had to happen because these kids are white. I want to see where is that evidence at. He's accusing Al Sharpton of saying something had to happen because of these kids are. I want to see that video. I want to see that video evidence. Can somebody please present that? Derek Woods, maybe you could send me the video where Al Sharpton is actually saying, hey, these kids had to do it because they are. Because that's what this man is saying. That's a wild accusation. Even though he's saying that, you know, other people are having wild accusations. He better have some proof for that kind of accusation.
Was one white kids with one black boy. I mean, that there's no evidence to project that unless you believe every white person is nefarious in their dealings with black people. And so I thought that was suspicious on his face. And then,
wow. That's crazy. That was wild. Maybe Vato, he got something. So send it to me. You said Al Sharpton said it on TV. Then send it to me. Send it so we could go through it. Welcome to the show, Vato. Good day, Vato.
Good morning. You watched that Poeta Flaco, where he got the 91 recording where they're talking to AI and they're saying, "Oh, Nolan, you're dead. Nolan's dead." And then the operator answers and fucking they change the script. They're like, "Oh, we need help because the boat's sinking." And then they ask him how many people are.
What are you saying, Vato? That he was on that? What? Who said Nolan is dead?
Go to Poeta Flaco, and then he has the recording of the boys calling 911 saying asking for help, but they're before the 911 operator answers, they're like, "Nolan, he's dead. Nolan is dead." Can you hear me?
So you saying Poetic Flacco? He's a
Yeah, he
he's a
dropped
he's a content creator that has
he dropped the video like 2 days ago.
evidence of some
Yeah.
audio. Be quiet so I can ask you the damn question, boy. God damn. Shit. You saying that he has audio with people saying in the background that Nolan is dead from his friends?
Yes. I watched it 2 days ago. You should have it. Look it up.
Wow. And so
I'm surprised no
that's
one has
some
reviewed
new.
it. No one has reviewed it. I hit up Easy, I let him know, but he just ignored it, I guess. Check it out.
That is some great new information. I wonder what all these people that are saying, hey, these friends of his
Well, check
didn't
it
do
out.
it.
Let's review it.
Somebody call Uda ass right now. Uda, where the hell you at? So why people like Easy and these other people are acting as if the suspicions is not pointing towards the friends? If this is a possibility that somebody said
You want me to get you the name of
he's
the video?
dead on
You want me to get you
audio
the name
by
of the video?
accident.
You want the name of the video?
Yeah, you can write it in the chat so I can find it.
All right, I'll be back then. I'll be back.
Thank you, Bato. Damn, Uda out there putting baby oils. So Derek Woods, I don't even understand what Derek Woods. So Derek Woods, after you heard that information, Derek Woods, after you heard that information, what is your thoughts? They saying that is an audio out there with a distress call, and you can clearly hear the people in the background saying Nolan is dead. And we should not be suspicious of these young men. Even Nancy Grace is reporting on it. So we should just ignore that video? Is what y'all are saying? We supposed to just ignore audio possible evidence. I do not understand why so many people have a hatred towards black men, especially the young ones that's doing the right thing. All of a sudden, all the detractors, they don't got nothing to say. They can't even, it's so scared that they cannot even say that it is at least suspicious. Shicey Bum said she didn't hear that part. All right. Somebody lying. Somebody's lying.
They said that Nolan was the only black kid. He was not the only black kid. Many of his black friends were also at the island with him. So, some of those things that started to come out, I knew that they were not being truthful about what happened.
Charles, your thoughts, your response to what Officer Tatum just said.
Come on, Charles.
I don't necessarily know that the initial statements about Nolan being with some of his white friends is entirely factual. I also don't know that it is a nefarious statement in as much as these are facts. He was with a number of different white boys or a number of different boys who are white. I think that the problem with what Officer Tatum has just pointed out is that there is an underpinning of race when you're having a conversation about the types of things that happen and have happened to black boys and black people in Mississippi, such that it cannot be summarily dismissed. I did not necessarily jump to any conclusion, but the history of what race relations have been in Mississippi and how we have not necessarily been safe has caused me to take a special look at this case. It doesn't mean that I'm accusing anyone of.
I do not understand why he has such a soft position on this. Like, you're supposed to be, he said, from two different perspectives. Your perspective, sir, Mr. Coleman, is neutral. I thought you was gonna come and have some smoke and say, hey, this is why, because of my years of experience of being a prosecutor, that I can conduct and I could and this is, I thought you was gonna come with some expertise and start punching back, but all you doing is towing the line and saying that, hey, I'm not on your side, Officer Tatum, but also I don't have any kind of position. And I think that's weak. I think that's a weak position to have. Maybe, Wanda. Maybe. Vato is back. Good day, Vato.
Do you see
You
the
threw it in
link?
the back?
Yeah, I put the link. You see it? I gotta go. I'll see you. I'll be watching.
And who video is this?
This Poeta Flacos. Go about midway through the video. You'll see it. Like about 5 minutes.
What's the time? What's the timestamp?
How long is the video? It's about like 3 minutes, I think.
You got a timestamp?
Here, give me a second.
Yeah, give me a timestamp because I am doing this show. So if you can give me a timestamp, that'd be good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
4 minutes
There.
and 38 seconds.
No, 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
4 minutes and 30 seconds. All right.
Yep. All right, I'll be back. I'm watching the back.
All right.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, so 44 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's check it out. Let me share. All right, let's check out this audio. Let's see what this audio is all about. Let's see who's going to argue the audio. Let's see. Make sure you're hitting that share button. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's get it together, please. Let's act like we are some kind of a community where you dislike me or not. It doesn't matter. Whether you dislike me or not, hit the like button. Whether you dislike the content or not, hit the like button. We don't give a damn if you like it or not. If you are here, your admission is just the like button. This is a club. But we don't let girls in for free. The admission is the like button. And PZ ain't going, he's getting bottle service. Shout out to PZ ain't going with the 10 ball. Thank you so much. PZ ain't going. Let's check out this audio. Man, this is some scary-ish, man. It's some scary-ish that we don't even have people that's willing to say it looks suspicious. It's very scary to see that people are not willing to say, hey, they got audio too? That sounds very, well, you know, let's listen to it together. Let's see what the audio is saying.
Oh my God, he's dead.
Connected.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, they were not aware that was already being recorded.
That was that's a lot. What? That's a lot. That's a lot.
Dead.
Connect you. Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, they were not aware that was already being recorded. So they
Whoa. I don't, man. I don't know. They was they was talking because they didn't realize that they was on the phone with the people yet, because the people didn't start talking to them. So it was recorded long before that lady ever says you need assistance. It's not the fact that law enforcement doesn't have the same audio. It's the fact that law enforcement did not want to investigate the audio. People outside of law enforcement has more invested in this case than the people of law enforcement in Mississippi, is what it seems like at the current state. So the reason why the oil is coming out in various other ways is because other people are highly invested in this case. And it seems like, from the outside looking in, that the people outside of Mississippi got more invested than the law enforcement in Mississippi. Is that a coinky dink? I don't know. Is that just what it is with the history of Mississippi? I don't know. But I know we can't overlook that. What up, plug? I know this is a very telling situation that, hey, we need to put more eyes and ears on it. So shout out to Stephen A. Smith for putting more eyes and ears on it, because definitely I can't get more eyes and ears on it because nobody want to hit the damn like button. But we need more eyes and ears on it so we can get independent communication about this, because clearly somebody that's outside of law enforcement figured this out and heard that. You said, what did the audio say? Okay. For the slow people, we'll do it. We'll play it again. We'll play it again. So this way you can hear it for yourself, and you tell me if you heard anything. If you want, I could play without the video being shown, so it's no influence if you like. But these kids did not know they were being recorded.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
So you tell me what you heard. You could tell me what you heard, Derek Woods. How you doing, Tiffany Praise? You tell me what you heard, sir. I'm curious. Are you gonna act like you don't hear nothing? Are you gonna act as if you didn't hear anything at all? Quiet as kept now. He's quiet as kept now. They are talking the boat because it's sinking. So you saying that when they said he's dead, they talking about the boat. I always thought that majority of people consider boats to be female. Most people name their boats after a female name. They give it a feminine name. Stop worrying about where I move like you pay my bills. Why are you asking questions about where I live? I don't understand. Are you like? Is there some questions you got to ask me or something? Why are you worrying about if I moved or not? These are men, by the way, I believe. That's sad. Like, goddamn. Did Sharon what? Why are you asking? Like, who asks people these questions? Clearly, he wanted to go with me. You got to get a passport and you got to get a visa, sir. If you want to come over here so I can give you a nice hug, clearly that's what you want. You want some male attention. You need to go get a visa and a passport. I don't know if y'all can't hear it, then I understand it. The audio is choppy because it's way in the background. So I get that. But you could clearly hear, oh my God. You could clearly hear no Nolan. And you could clearly hear, is he dead? But, we are reaching on this one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit. Right. And you could clearly hear him say, Nolan. So if they was on the boat, regardless if you didn't hear them say he's dead, that's a very good point. Regardless, when that situation happened, Nolan was absolutely on the boat. You can at least hear them say Nolan. So if they are screaming Nolan, they screaming his name, he was at least on the boat where that story doesn't match because they say they left him on the island. So whether we can hear them say he's dead or not, or she's dead, maybe the girl said, "You want some head?" I don't know. They all, we heard that's what those we understand. Maybe they say, "You want some head?" I don't know. Regardless of the fact, we do hear them say Nolan name more than once. So if they are calling his name Nolan, they also call him No. How and why are they calling Nolan's name if he was left on the island with a pretty young thing? Master Kuma, okay, Master Kuma, you clearly you need a timeout because now you're talking about Barack Obama. Clearly, you need 5 minutes. Clearly, you must want 5 minutes. And Derek Woods, who debunked that? You saying that just because they said it, that means you agree with them? I don't understand. So what does this evidence tell you? That they are calling his name while they was on the boat calling for distress. What does that tell you? And Imperious, you are absolutely wrong. The young man didn't know how to swim. So you just dumb. And then they keep saying that we are the ones that's applying race. And I don't understand. Hopefully somebody with a moderating wrench will just time somebody like Imperious off for saying nonsense like that for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. You know what I mean? You want to just start trouble just to start trouble, not really conversing. These are the bad faith actors. Davey, he needs to get timed out clearly because he's saying nonsense too. Just 5 minutes. We're just having block parties. It's summertime. That's all. If they don't learn how to communicate within the chat, then we start increasing the time until they learn and understand that they're going to have to communicate a certain way in the chat. I feel you, baby slime. Man, that shit is crazy. Jay Billa, stop talking your shit. Let me see. Where was I? Let's get back to these two brothers having a conversation. I'm not sure this brother really came with the smoke. James, that is always a possibility, I guess. But even if that is the possibility, what's up, Booker RLM? So if that is the possibility that somebody was on the phone and they was talking to somebody else that was on the island still. Let's go with your narrative. So that means they knew he was dead at that time of the phone call. So he was not missing. So let me bring that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that comment up. Even though y'all should be supporting the show with super chats, cash apps, likes, and shares, I wonder if we even have. I wonder what our likes is at. I wonder where the likes are at. Yeah, that's horrible. We need more likes. We got 120 people. We need more likes. So this is an interesting question. Here's a possibility, well, interesting thought. Here's a possibility I thought. Maybe someone called them on the phone and told them about Nolan being deceased. So if that's the case, that means Nolan was never missing. That means Nolan was never missing, since they said that they left him on the beach and they had no idea where he was at. But if somebody called them, regardless, some foul play is going on because they knew.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to Tiffany Praise, gifted 5 The Wildest Show memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Tiffany Praise. And anybody that got a membership, please say thank you to Tiffany if you're in the chat. And also, please maintain your memberships. It means a lot. I know Stackbot CEO, he could maintain it. I know my girl Brownie Ellie, she can maintain it. I know my guy Frieza, aka Mr. Cooler, can maintain it. And anybody else that got it, please maintain your membership. Please, we need more likes. We need 40 more likes, bare minimum. We need 40 likes, bare minimum. We got over 120 people here. It should be seamless. Should be the easiest thing to do to get a like. Shouldn't even be a thought to get a like. And the like button doesn't have anything to do with you liking the video or liking me, liking my perspective, agreeing or disagreeing. Doesn't have anything to do with that at all. Thank you so much again, Tiffany. Because for some reason, y'all think the like button means literally that you like it. No, it means that you just engaging into the conversation. That's all that you hear. You're talking, you're watching. Goddamn, Sharon DeLove. That was crazy. That was crazy what you just said. But hopefully these gentlemen here will get it together, because let me fast forward. Let me see. Let's try something. Let's questions about Nolan's. Let's see what this part say.
With a few white boys, and you articulating that fact is very, very important. I think that's important and fair to point out. But what do you say to folks that will ask this kind of question? He's on a boat, he's on an island, and according to numerous reports, he talked about staying behind and traveling back with a different set of company. Yet his car keys and his phone was left on a boat that he had traveled to those guys with. So what teenager do you know is saying he's staying someplace, but he's going to leave his car keys and his phone on the boat with the guys that he arrived at the island with? That does seem a bit suspicious, particularly when the guy's mother, Nolan Wells' mother, had to use some app to locate the phone, and it was something that wasn't given back. These are reports. I'm not pretending to know, Officer Tatum. These are what the report said. What do you say to that?
And this is where I feel like Benjamin Crump and them should be sued for them putting out this information without facts. Let me point the facts out.
Wow. He's hard to watch. Lord. That was... What? That is hard to listen to. I ain't gonna lie. That is hard to listen to. Like, and y'all call Al Sharpton and Ben Crump race baiters? What is he? What is this man? Shit. That's crazy. That was crazy.
Without context, it sounds bizarre. But when you put it in the context that a lot of people left their phones on the boat that left. Many kids came to get their phone after they left the lake. Nolan was with a girl. it's not shocking that Nolan would have said, hey, man, you guys had to leave, because they had to leave in an emergency situation. It wasn't like they had time to prep and everything. The boat was sinking, so they had to go. And they told Nolan, get on the boat.
Hey, that ain't what that audio saying. That ain't what that audio, we just listened to the audio. That ain't what it sounded like to us. What up, Tara? Tatum, this is a big major L. Like this just look like you're just a liar now. Right, the young man knew how to swim. Like this looks bad. This looks like this looks like you are just a liar. This is like you saying, hey, listen, hey, I'm just out here getting my grift on. I'm out here trying to get that bag. I'm trying to get this racist bag. This is what they want me to say. I'm getting paid. Stop trying to blow up my spot. That's what this looks like. Shout out to Kevin Cook. Keep thinking this is a game. Ephesians 6:12. Damn, that's crazy.
Get on the effing boat, man. Let's go. And he like, no, I'm finna hang out with this girl. I saw evidence of that, and others who had sent messages that I read that said that they asked Nolan to go and he didn't want to go. Now, a lot of people left their phones on the boats because they're sitting in chest deep water, and it's a bunch of people out there. The reception is not very good, so most people did not have their phone with them. Now, the phone and the key.
And this is what the other guy needs to understand. Like, this guy's not playing a neutral position at all. This dude, Officer Tatum, he is playing a side, 100%. The other dude is trying to be neutral and trying to be in good faith, while this dude is being a bad faith actor. Badass thing, I'm disappointed in you for saying that.
Situation, people need to understand the context. Nolan never brought his keys with him because they were on a boat driving 7 miles out to an island. His keys had always been at the residence where his car was. So when the guys go back, they text Nolan's mother. This is where it ticks me off. They showed me a phone call where immediately the first phone call that was made concerning Nolan was Warren called Nolan's mom, and she hung up the phone on him the first time because she didn't know who he was. The second call, he told her, hey, Nolan haven't come back. Do you know, have you heard from him? And then they called the Coast Guard. So his mother was very much aware that they had Nolan's phone. His mother did not have.
Woo! Whoa. What is he saying about the mother? What is he saying about the mother? Is he saying that lady is lying? Is he saying the mother is lying? That she knew her baby boy was missing this whole time? The plot thickens. Whoa, that is extreme. Badass thing. What you think about what Officer Tatum just said, that the mother knew that her son was missing? You agree with that as well? Even though she came out crying saying she couldn't find, like, that was wild. Why would you say that about that?
To track the phone through Life 360. His mother didn't come get the phone. Another parent of a black kid who was out there with Nolan came to get her son's phone and Nolan's phone. So why didn't Al Sharpton or any of them ask these boys what happened, have them show evidence, and then present it to the public? And it's because I think they wanted the race bait instead of trying to find out what happened to Nolan.
Do you know? Hold on, Charles. Do you know whether or not Al Sharpton and those guys had asked to talk to the kids, and the kids refused to talk to them? Do you know
No, they told me
truth to that?
They told me that they haven't heard anything from Al Sharpton or anybody that tried to contact them. This is what they told me. Now, they showed me messages where parents had communicated and reached out to Benjamin Crump, his team, and said, we would love to communicate with you guys. Any questions you have, we want to talk to you guys so you can get the context. Also, they messaged Nolan's mother multiple times about communicating and saying, hey, if you need anything, if you want to talk, we can give you the context of what happened. And nobody reached out to these boys. And I saw evidence of this, which is what frustrated me about this in the first place.
Charles?
That is some wild accusations he put on that lady. And it's wild that he's calling everybody else a race baiter. That is crazy. That is crazy as hell. Because now he's throwing Mama Dukes under the bus because he's saying they try to get in contact with her. So now he's saying that she is not adequate enough as a mother. Man, I tell you. Okay, badass saying that's a little bit better. That's how you need to communicate a little bit more like that. Man. Shout out to a brother named Noopsy with the $2. Thank you so much. That is blue for Tatum's bullshit. Let's get some more $2 super chats for Tatum's bullshit. Whoa. I can't believe you're going after that mother like that. That's kind of wild. Sheesh. Let's see how you respond.
So here's the thing, Officer Tatum, we're not going to litigate the facts on here from one side of someone who's had an opportunity to talk to a sample size of people who were involved in this investigation. You and I know just as well that the real issue here is that the people who conducted the investigation, i.e. the Mississippi Sheriff's Department, who've talked to over 60 witnesses in this case, have not yet presented that case or their findings to a grand jury, and they've been extremely tight-lipped with respect to what they have found and what it is that they know. Where I'm going with this is, regardless of who you may have spoke to, who Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton may have spoken to, what information they have had, we are all trying to piece this together. And so it is equally as unfair to present a certain set of facts as if this is the final context of things, when in reality, we don't know. What I will say about the overall situation is that for me, as a civil rights attorney, I am looking at this and I am saying that there needs to be a greater sense of transparency from the Sheriff's Department, because they are the ones who have spoken to most of the parties who have been involved in this case. They've conducted over 60 witness interviews. They've done the toxicology report. They have the autopsy. These are the people who are truly equipped from an information place to give the public the most accurate picture. So I am not calling what you're putting out misinformation, but what I am saying is that that is just an equally biased and slanted point of view in the opposite way, because it lacks the full context. So
Absolutely. And it's about time you start not just calling it out, but start fighting to make this a fair fight. Hell yeah, Wanda, it's about time, Wanda. I was wondering, like, because it's about time you start making this fair fight. It's about time you call him. First of all, you're doing a good job of calling him out on his BS. So very good job to you, Charles. Salute to Charles for calling him out on his BS and how he is just leaning. He is just leaning on the wrong side of the facts. So yeah, I agree, Wanda. He is definitely heating up. He even had more patience than me, Wanda. Shit, I thought I had patience. Shit. Now I see why so many people get mad at me for having patience. It is, I get it now. I understand why people get mad at me, Wanda, for having patience. Because it seems like you kind of like being cool but really you're just trying to parse it out and hit them with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to, yeah. You want to hit him with that nice, good. Yeah. So now I'm starting to understand his position, I think.
So because of that, let me finish. It's disingenuous intellectually, number one.
Bar, that's where you're supposed to start. Yeah. Start hitting him with that damn smoke. Yeah, I like it.
So because of that, let me finish. It's disingenuous intellectually, number one, to dismiss the notion of race, because that is choosing to ignore the history in America that we have faced. Number two, it's equally disingenuous to play a whataboutism to try and substitute the notion of black on black crime, which is a complete misnomer as to why we should not focus, or at least note, I won't even say focus, at least note the color issues that are at play with respect to what could or might have happened to Nolan Wells. Again, not necessarily being accusatory. And it's just as disingenuous for you to go further and say, well, we must assume, or it seems like Crump and Sharpton and everyone else was projecting the notion of race. That may have been your interpretation, which I cannot necessarily argue with, but it is just as proper interpretation, which I cannot necessarily argue with. But the notion of race, that may have been your interpretation, which I cannot necessarily argue with. But that may have been your interpretation, which I cannot necessarily argue with. But it is just as problematic for you to suggest the polar opposite of that when none of us have conducted this full investigation. You have a limited sample size. I have a limited sample size. The public has been wrought with misinformation. So for me, the real issue here is a lack of transparency from the sheriff's office to give the public a complete picture.
Well, let me tell you where I disagree with you fully.
I like it. I like the good, cool salmon and fuchsia smoke that he's giving Officer Tatum. I think it's interesting how they both are dressed as well. One is dressed as a fake hip hop fan, like a damn fake ass Suge Knight. And the other one is dressed as a distinguished gentleman. Maybe got something to do with their ideologies. I don't know. Maybe Officer Tatum is so concerned about talking about the black community, that's why he's trying to portray himself as, I don't know. I could be reaching there.
As a former police officer, and I was a PIO, I dealt with all of these things. The police department is not an injustice when you say there's a lack of communication or transparency. The police department cannot put this information out there when you still have suspects at large. If they go and release some of this information and show their hands of what they know and don't know, then potential suspects will begin to destroy evidence. They'll start hiding. They'll start cleaning stuff. You don't want to give that information out to the public until you know for a fact that you've been able to communicate with every suspect that's out there. If you start putting out the autopsy.
What that got to do with goddamn Nolan? What that got to do with Mississippi? Like, this is the part, like, yes, all those things you're saying is true for a state that does things on the up and up. Mississippi doesn't, technically, their history shows they ain't been doing things on the up and up when it comes to us. So a state like that, they need more transparency because they don't operate like other states. So they need to prove more than a shadow of doubt that they ain't still moving like how they used to. So yes, what you are saying, officer, is correct if the state of Mississippi was moving on up and up, which history shows that they do not.
prematurely, and it shows blunt force to the head, strangulation to the neck, then the people who have done this are going to make sure they hide the murder weapon. They're going
That was too much detail. Why did you say those things? That was an interesting choice of words.
the autopsy prematurely, and it shows blunt force to the head, strangulation to the neck, then
Wow. Wow. Just wow.
the people who have done this are going to make sure they hide the murder weapon. They're going to make sure they get their stories together and say,
So you think that before the information came out, they wasn't attempting to hide the murder weapon? When they threw him overboard into the river, they wasn't trying to hide the fact that they deleted him and he so-called is drunk. A young man that knew how to swim since he's a young man, since he was a young kid. That kid somehow drowned, and you saying they ain't trying to cover that up? They've been covering it up long time ago, officer.
No. I didn't hit him in the back of the head. You don't want to project those things too prematurely. So there's no issue with transparency. And I'll say this: the reason that I'm talking about Al Sharpton and him is because the first thing that they said was that he was there with white boys. Therefore, there had to been something. And then it goes.
That is twice that he mentioned that. Can somebody please bring up where Al Sharpton said they were white, so they had to do something? You welcome, Crown Prince, I think. I don't know, that's a compliment. Thank you for all the people that is hitting the like button. I really appreciate that. Please, we need more of that. We need 1,000 likes. So that means we need y'all to put that work in. Don't think somebody else is going to do it. Somebody else is not going to do it. Somebody else is not going to hit the thumbs up for you. Whew.
Back historically, some of them compared this to the young man.
I've heard very different messages from them when they have said we cannot.
Why you not hold him accountable for what he's saying about Al Sharpton, bro? That's what you should jump on. Like, hey, do you have any evidence of Al Sharpton saying because they were white, they had to do X, Y, and Z? You need to make him own that shit, because it's the second time he said that.
Assume that this is racist,
but
we cannot assume that it wasn't. So I'm going to correct you there.
Let me jump in here.
Who's that, Charles? Hold on. Charles, who said that? Who said that?
Literally during his eulogy.
Who said that?
Let me jump in here.
Woo! Crazy. Salute to Rob 2917. Ah. Thank you so much. All right, mid-class. Salute to you. Let's back it up a little bit.
Some of them compared this to the young man.
I've heard very different messages from them when they have said we cannot assume that this is racist.
Bar, thank you. Speak on it. Stop letting that man lie on Al Sharpton like that.
We cannot assume that it wasn't. So I'm going to correct you there.
Let me jump in here.
Who's that, Charles? Hold on. Charles, who said that? Who said that?
Literally during his eulogy, Al Sharpton said,
Al Sharpton.
we cannot assume that this was racist. And he said, we can also not assume that it wasn't.
And look how he's trying to overtalk that point, right? He don't want that point to come out, right? Because he's being a real POS right now. He don't want the truth. He want, even though y'all keep saying that we or us or that whoever, all of them are the race baiters. It sounds like Officer Tatum is the actual race baiter. This is wild.
Take your time. Take your time. Hold on, guys, take your time. Ain't nothing getting edited out. Don't worry about it. Trust me. All of it is. I'm not editing a damn thing. Go ahead, Officer Tatum. Floor is yours.
Well, let me interject. When you are looking for justice for your child in a criminal case, meaning that somebody committed a crime against your child, why do you go out and get a civil rights attorney?
What? What do you mean? What do you mean, sir? That's a crazy thing to say. Shout out to the Crown Prince 7 for holding the lines. Hold the line. For holding the line, soldier. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you so much, the Crown Prince. Man, this is looking wild, reckless for Mr. Tatum. This is looking wild, reckless for Mr. Tatum.
These Benjamin Crump and them are known for going after these cases specifically against your child. Why do you go out and get a civil rights attorney? These Benjamin Crump and them are known.
Because you think the state is not holding, bruh. It's because they don't think the state is handling the case properly. If it didn't have all of this media attention on it, we wouldn't be getting all these looks and these understandings. They would have just accepted that these young boys said, "Hey, we don't know what happened. We left. He was there. He was with the girl, and we left, and then we called because we was having both problems. It'd have been case closed." But because we are putting so much attention on it, because Ben and Al has been there, and that it's possible that Mississippi has been dropping them. That is why this case is in the. So that's why they might possibly need a civil rights attorney, because Mississippi might be mishandling the situation, sir.
For going after these cases specifically in injustices against black people.
Let me try it first.
Okay,
go ahead. No, that's fair. No, that's fair, Charles. Go ahead.
I'm a former prosecutor.
I'm
a civil rights attorney. Please understand how these things work. At the end of the day, when you're talking about quote unquote justice, the first reason why you get someone like Benjamin Crump is because he's a person who has experience with wrongful death lawsuits.
Black people.
So it's not about black people. No,
it is. Benjamin don't represent white people.
Please talk.
Wow. 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 Tatum, you just gonna just say that like that? Is that a true statement, or is that a lie? Or are you just not understanding because you didn't do no research? Shout out to you, Chris. Goddamn, Rob. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Rob. That's some interesting information, Rob. That's crazy. That's crazy, Rob. But goddamn, Tatum, this was crazy that you said that.
He's a person who has experience with wrongful death lawsuits.
Black people.
So it's not about black people. No,
it is. Benjamin don't represent white people.
Wow. Benjamin doesn't represent white people. That's crazy to me for him to say something like that. I wonder if Officer Tatum ever heard of Jenny Mitchell. I wonder if Officer Tatum ever heard of Jenny Mitchell? She was the lead plaintiff in a nationwide hair relaxer litigation, cosmetics, you know what I'm saying? Jenny Mitchell is a white person, and Crump serves as co-lead counsel. So what are you talking about? That's crazy. Also, I believe he also had Ben Crump's biggest case when he won. He won a verdict of over $400 million. I believe the guy name is something Washington, Dwayne Washington, if I'm not mistaken. That's another person that was a non. Hey, look, it's very easy to find this information, Officer Tatum, that Ben Crump absolutely represented people that were non-black, even white. It's civil. It's not black. Civil doesn't mean black. Ugh. Ugh. That's disgusting, Officer Tatum. That was disgusting. Like, oh, I thought everybody knew about these two cases because that's like two of his most famous cases. Besides the recent ones. Thank you, Dwayne. It is Dwayne Johnson. Thank you, Young. That's his biggest. The Dwayne Washington. When he did that over 400 million. I thought everybody knew about that case. That was like, bruh. Bruh. That's something very simple, Officer Tatum. I can't believe you said that, Tatum. That's crazy.
Please talk about that is completely false. That is
Show me
completely
when was the last
false.
case he represented?
I'm not here to do.
Well, I just said two of them. Tatum. Go look it up.
White people.
I'm not here to do your research for you.
No, you're the one saying it. I'm telling you it didn't happen.
But Benjamin Crump has a long-standing career of supporting people of all races and ethnicities when it comes to the violation of their civil rights.
Give me one.
as well as personal injury. So please let me answer your question.
Go ahead.
The reason why you get a civil rights attorney is because, number one, Benjamin Crump has extensive experience when it comes to wrongful death suits. Number two, in this situation, it is possible that there may be an element that Nolan Wells' civil rights were violated.
There you go. Good job, Charles. Good job, Charles. That was what we needed, Charles, right there. We still didn't get to, we should be at least, our like should be in the 90s. Come on, y'all. Come on. I think we cooking up today. You know, I gotta write something. So while I'm writing this, y'all need to go ahead and hit the like button. All right. How about that? Y'all go ahead and hit the like button. Hey, what's up, Genesis? Let me see. Did y'all? That's crazy. Instead of y'all hitting the like button, I got 1 like, and y'all all dropped. The hate is real for likes. The hate is real for likes. But we need more likes, so this is what we're gonna do. Because clearly y'all need a break. To find the like button. Go ahead and find it.
Wireless wake up show. We get it cracking, no acting. Say what you say, but bring facts with it. I'm Sharon Bracey, come face me. All love. But we saw the case be. Boom. Hey, this the Wireless wake up show. Lights on, case closed. With sips on deck, no capping. Just proof exposed. Facts. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. Nah. Sharon Bracey, come face me. Truth gon' win. Night turns to evidence. Mike's receipts in the file. We talk that street gospel. Broadcast live. Wireless wake up show. The truth unfold. Ain't no games, we chasing facts, we taking hold. Lights low in the studio, the tension thick. Chat scrolling, comments heavy, they expecting this. Look, I drop a jewel, it explodes, scatter in the crowd. Boom, 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 boom. You talk tough in the ends, but vanish when it's loud. I've been smelling smoke, fakeries and fraud. Boss frontin' in the streets, but the paperwork flawed. Receipts stacked tall, timelines crossing the line. This is ghetto court. With a beat and a rhyme, bring your courage, bring your proof, or get exposed tonight. I ain't afraid of the truth, I live for the fight. I'm Sharon, I call your name, come stand right here. It's all love, but the case gotta end this year. It's the Wild Wake Up Show. Lights on, case closed. Receipts on deck, no capping, just proof exposed. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. I'm Sharon Bracey, come famous. Truth gon' win. Witnesses call in, testimony heavy. Facts. City on my back. Foundation steady. This ain't petty beef, this a purge of the lies. We strip masks off, truth televised. Every edit erased, no escape from the lens. Your moves documented, beginning to end. I'm the host with the hustle, the streets on my chest. No capping, the truth manifests. A lot of them scared when the light hit true. Scared, hide in the shadow, ducking the proof. But it's the arena, respectfully loud, where the righteous get heard and the fakes disavowed. Stream overflow, donation, captive vibes. We dissect illusion, stitch timelines tight. March through the smoke, no fear at night. If you came for smoke, you best wear a mask. We spray facts heavy, can you handle the blast? This the wake up show, this the code we know. Facts over fiction, that's the life we show. Sharon Bracey, last call, last chance. All love in a circle, but the truth gon' dance. Case closed, curtains drawn, verdict tall. Wildest wake up show, we stand over all. This the wildest wake up show, we stand over all. This the wildest wake up show. Lights on, case closed. Receipts on deck, no capping, just proof exposed. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. Sharon Bracey, come face me. Truth gon' win. Night turns to evidence. Mike's receipts in the file. We talk that street gospel, broadcast live. Wildest wake up show, the truth unfold. Ain't no games, we chasing facts, we taking hold. Yeah. Wildest wake up. Lights on. Truth only. I'm Sharon Bracey. Case all. Boom, 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 boom.
All right. So maybe now we could get to it. Y'all can stop being so wild and ridiculous. Stop being so damn scary. To hit the like, that's okay. Be a participant. We enjoy y'all here. You know, hit the like button, hit the share button, hop out the clouds and speak your mind.
And that something may have happened to him because of his color, which is why you get a civil rights attorney. which is why you get a civil rights attorney. And so that is the answer to your question.
It's about
As
color.
a former prosecutor, you let the police and the sheriff's office deal with the notion of criminality. Because that is one thing that Benjamin Crump can't do anything about. But
well, let's say this. Let's say this, brother. Can I jump in here?
That's why you go get someone like Benjamin Crump.
Why wouldn't the kids get civil rights? Like, for instance, people were saying, why did these kids lawyer up? First of all, many of them didn't even have a lawyer. They went and talked to investigators and did a lie detector test equivalent with no lawyers. Okay, so but anyway.
Where are these lie detector tests? Where are these lie detector tests? Victorious one? Why are you bringing up?
Would you think it would be weird if these kids went out and got a civil rights attorney?
Why would they have a civil rights attorney? They're not being accused of anything.
They are being accused. They are being accused.
Who's accused them?
They are accused.
Who has accused them?
Sharpton.
Where?
Bitch.
What? Shout out to StackBot. Hopefully you maintain your membership, sir. Thank you so much for showing up. I know StackBot CEO. I know he hit the like. I appreciate you. This shit is crazy. This ish is wild. Man, I tell you, I didn't know that it was this deep. These checks must be good. I need to get one of these checks, MJ. Good day to you. Welcome to the show, The Beautiful Conversations with MJ. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think she's fighting for her life. Oh, there she goes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this shit is crazy. I don't even know what the hell Tatum is talking about. Tater Tot. The fuck his name is. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. First of all, civil rights ain't just for black people. Civil rights is for any civilian. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people can have their civil rights violated just for them being an American citizen. So for him to even say some goofy shit like that, that's ridiculous. And it's very easy to Google and see other cases that Ben Crump have, supported someone for their civil rights, and they were not black. They were non-black. That's a simple Google search can help you with that. And
yeah,
man, I'm just like the way how their fight is so hard.
His biggest cases the biggest cases from a non-black person. Like, I knew that off the top. But go ahead, MJ, because I think we have a little delay. Go ahead, MJ. Cook up.
No. I'm just saying that this whole thing is absolutely crazy. Like, the way that they're running interference for these kids to actually just be detained and questioned is ridiculous. And it just seemed like everybody's involved, like whether it's to the judge, the district attorney, the police department, the Cajun Navy. Like, nobody's even questioning that the fact that the grandfather was able to call the captain directly and stop the towing of the boat due to the fact that they're friends. He called on his personal phone. He didn't call using the toll-free number to the Cajun Navy. Like, nobody's putting two to two together about how there's a lot of interpersonal connections with the people that's involved in this particular case. I just find it very disgusting. And that Tater Tot is getting on my goddamn nerve. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's very annoying to even hear him speak. He's talking about, they took lie detector tests. Sir, even if they did take a lie detector test, I don't believe that they did, but even if they did, it wouldn't even be admissible in court. They're not going to be able to use it in court because lie detector test is not 100% accurate. People have passed a lie detector test. Like, law enforcement know how to pass a lie detector test, and they're supposed to take that when they're trying to join the force. Like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. It's wild to see that Officer Tatum is the actual race baiter, even though he keep trying to point the finger at Al and Ben Crump. Right? The fact that he try to say Ben Crump ain't never had a case with a non-black person is just wild to say when two of Ben Crump's biggest cases is from non-black people. Civil does not mean black. But you know, these are the heroes. You know, these are the people. Go ahead, MJ.
Nah, I was just gonna say, how slow can you be that you think that civil means black now? Like, and even like, let's say for example, if that was even true, which we all know is not. So you're now trying to say that black people cannot advocate for themselves as individuals, as citizens, American citizens. There's a problem with that. But if something happened to a white person or a non-black person, it's okay for them to advocate for themselves. This is weird. It's just absolutely, it's like saying it without even saying it. Why are you having such an issue with people going out there to find justice and to find the answers to certain things that happen? Like, and then the criminalization of the parents, like that's like what's really like disgusting me, because y'all trying to make it seem like it was the parents' fault for their son's death. like I don't understand how the hell y'all pull that shit the fuck off, but it's ridiculous. It's the parents' fault. It's Nolan's parents' fault that he's dead, but not even the adults that was there with all those fucking 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds fucking drinking is none of their fault. Y'all not even questioning that. There was adults there.
That damn sure was some adults there. Right? We seen adults fighting.
Adults
and,
fighting, adults letting underage kids
right, let
or
them
doing
drink,
whatever, but nobody's saying that.
And so for the people that we're not necessarily surprised at Tatum, is more surprised that he has so much support. It's more surprised that he's willing to fight so hard for the position. It's more shocking that he's willing to just lie. Like, he's willing to lie. That's the part that's kind of shocking, is that damn, like, we expect you to just lie. You lied on Al Sharpton twice and said that man claimed that because they are white, so they had to do something with them. Like, I don't know no clip of Al Sharpton saying something as stupid as that. I don't think Al Sharpton is that dumb to say something like that. And then number two, you lied and try to insinuate that Ben Crump never represented somebody other than black people. That shit is wild as well. Where his most famous case is from a non-black person, where he won a verdict for over $400 million. Mr. Dwayne Washington. Welcome to the show, Shadow, the Titan Wasp.
Good day.
Yes, sir.
Something MJ said actually it put something in my mind. If an adult is present while a bunch of minors, people under 21, are drinking, those adults are also held liable for things that happen, including the underage drinking. No adult's been charged with providing this alcohol. So
not one.
It's just showing a pattern of ignored behavior.
Ignored behavior, good one. That was a good one. Ignored behavior. That was a great.
It's showing a pattern of negligence.
Yes. I don't even know. Shadow realized that he just hit a bar.
And then the fact that none of these adults that was there has even been brung up or their name been released is very questionable. Very, very, very questionable. I can understand why they wanted to, not disclose certain information about underage teens, right? Because they're under the age of, I think they're 17, 18 years old. But the adults, why are you not releasing who the adults were?
Great point. Great point. What are RHS? And it's just it's so much complication to why we don't have answers. Like that's the part that I don't understand why Tatum is just glancing over that we should supposed to just believe everybody else in that this young man, it was, he just happened to be a tragedy. I don't know no parent that will look at it that way. So it's weird to see, because Tatum is a parent, correct?
I guess so. I don't know. I hope he ain't.
I mean, he's been married long enough.
Oh, somebody married that? Damn. Sorry for them.
Married man. Yeah.
Sorry for them.
It's because of people like him. People got to question my relationship every goddamn 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But his makes sense though. Like, his rhetoric kind of makes sense with the person that he married. So, so I get it. And I think that's why people don't understand why I think it's okay for me to be questioned. I think it's okay.
Show me where Al Sharpton has accused them of something.
All right, they said this is what they said.
Yes. Al Sharpton has accused them of something.
All right, they said.
Let's go,
Charles.
Show me
where Al Sharpton has accused them of something.
All right, they said this is what they said.
Suspicious.
This is what they said. No, they said they put these boys' pictures out on the internet and said he went out, and they framed it as he went out just with them, and something happened, and we know something happened, and why they hiding phones and doing all this? He's accusing them before any evidence is presented. They hiding phones and doing all this. He's accusing them before any evidence is presented.
That's not an accusation. That is
an accusation.
Charles, it is a statement of suspicion. That is not an accusation.
Charles, hold on. Charles, let me chime in here. A statement of suspicion, some people would say, is an accusation.
God damn, Stephen A. You was doing so good. You should have.
What is this? What is he talking about? If someone is hiding their phone, if the mother had to literally use a GPS or an app that she had put on their phone to locate their phone, to locate the keys, the fact that the boat was seen going to the Fort Bayou and going back to the island at a certain time, but y'all made a call at 4 p.m. stating that the boat was being flooded with water, but it seemed that the boat was still good enough for you to travel back and forth. Those are not accusations. That's suspicious behavior. You're wondering why that happened, and nobody's telling you why that happened. Nobody's telling you why these quote unquote best friends didn't go straight to Nolan's house and be like, listen, we don't know where Nolan is. He decided that he didn't want to come back with us on the boat. We got his stuff because we know that he might have been drunk or something like that. Here's his things. Y'all didn't do that. In fact, when they went to go find his stuff, they literally had the lights off, acting like they weren't even home.
Shit crazy. That was crazy to me. The thing that's even more crazier to me is that he's acting like what is being said is not true. Right? These are true facts. They left. That's the last known picture of Nolan. He was on a boat with them and he didn't come back. And some reason they got his phone. And it seemed like they hid it. The mother had to track it. Those are true statements. Like, why is it that true statements is okay when it's on their side, but when it's on the opposite side, true statements ain't good anymore?
Yeah, it's all this what-isms. It's all this what-isms and fluff. It's like it's ridiculous. It doesn't make no fucking sense. It's like, and then that's what I'm saying. You're doing too much, and you just keep on exposing your hand. I mean, I appreciate it, right? Because the more you talk, and the more you interview these clown ass boys, the more you're incriminating them. Like I'm actually enjoying it, really.
I'm surprised Stephen A. Damn, Stephen A. was doing so good until that moment too.
I understand from the legal, literal sense what you're saying, but talking amongst ourselves right now, when you say a statement of suspicion is not an accusation, that's not how people interpret a statement of suspicion. When you make a statement of suspicion, you're making an accusation. I mean, can we at least concede that, Charles?
What I will say in response to that, Stephen A., is to whatever extent there may have been statements of suspicion that were interpreted in that manner given early on, I think the record has been clear leading up to and during Nolan Wells' funeral that A, we don't know what happened, B, we won't rule anything out, and C, with respect to ruling anything out or not ruling anything out, we are not saying that this absolutely happened, but we are not saying that we are resting until we get answers.
Can I show you where this becomes biased?
Okay, that's good. That's good. You didn't fold. I thought he was going to fold, MJ. I got a little nerves. I thought he was going to fold. That's right. We ain't got no futons here. Don't fold,
I mean,
goddammit.
I'm glad that he didn't fold, because then you would have to use, right, when cops literally stop you for if they don't even see you in the act, but they just stop you just for specific, just for being suspicious. Then you're saying that the cops are initially making an accusation that you could have been a part of a potential crime or something that's happening at that particular time. And it's always being said to us that no, they're not making an accusation. They're just trying to question you and to see if whether or not if anything is happening or if you were involved with something. So now that doesn't apply with the police officers when they just stop you randomly and they didn't see you in the act of doing anything criminal.
I love it.
Officer Tatum, let me come at you with this. What's wrong? There's a kid now. Okay, granted, you did your homework. You went out there and you actually talked to several of his friends. Props to you for that. But the bottom line is this kid, Nolan Wells, is dead. And he was the only one that was dead. What's wrong with, again, in the state of Mississippi, not just with white boys, there were some dudes there as well, but he had other people there. He was the one that did not come home alive. Again, without an official accusation. What's wrong with having your suspicions raised and saying, listen, we need some damn answers. Something ain't right. He was a healthy young 18-year-old and he didn't come home alive.
Okay, Stephen A. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. Get some goddamn dignity back. I wonder, good job.
That happened. What's wrong with that?
Now, if they had context and all the information and then they led with that, I would have no problem with it. But let me tell you this right now, Stephen A. Smith and Charles, I'm telling you right now, if a white boy was on an island with his black friends, all black, and some white folks put on a camera, that something must be suspicious because the one white boy is with all these black dudes, and something may have happened. We know that people covering it up and everything because these kids black. Man, we'd be pissed off on that.
The way how he painted that was just awful. Oh my God.
That happens all the time. That literally happens all the time. It wasn't just recently on the news. A group of black boys was literally sitting in a sitting area in the mall, and somebody called the police to run up to them to ask them what was they doing there sitting there. They weren't being loud. They wasn't talking loud. They wasn't being rowdy. They wasn't destroying property. They were just literally sitting down, and they had two police officers come and approach them talking about, hey, why are you here? Do you have any identification or something like that? Someone called and said they heard a group of people, causing a disturbance and everything. So, like, this happens every single day, and everybody is saying that people can question, why are you doing here? What's your business and things of that sort. And now you're trying to say with us, we have to wait until the whole facts come out, right? We can't just, use basic logic and be like, okay, well, this doesn't seem right, so maybe questions need to be asked here. No, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to wait until everybody decides to give us whatever information they want to release to us, because let's be real. Like, they don't release everything, right? There's certain things that cannot be released, because if it's going to be used, whether it's going to the prosecutor side or the defense attorney side, they will want to keep that enclosed for discovery. They would not want to compromise.
Okay, I think we lost her as she's driving. But Officer Tatum, this is just horrible point. And I think Officer Tatum doesn't understand that, like, we have so many examples of white men hanging around a bunch of black men when that white man always come home. Our whole existence of hip hop is proof of it. We bring white folks into the ghetto when they're around all types of goddamn weapons and gangs, and they make it home safely. So, like, it just doesn't happen on the other way, the way how they be trying to make it seem. It just doesn't. Like, and we could go down a long list of things that they come and do and hang out with us that day, and things doesn't happen to them when they the only one around us. But the conversation, that is a very true statement, Lee, but that true statement has nothing to do with this situation right here. Because we're talking about a situation where one person left with a group of people and did not come back. And then we have another situation that happened just weeks before it, is the same exact situation. It got something to do with water, got something to do with boat, it got something to do with a certain race, and that young man did not come home. They are 3 weeks apart. We covered that story as well. But people act like, crazy.
No way in the world I'd accept somebody saying, you gonna blame these black boys for doing something to this kid just because they black? That's insane. And that's what happened in this situation.
If a white boy had been on that boat with 3 black boys, we would have seen a very different.
Where's your evidence? Give me a case.
History.
No history. You say history can tell us everything.
We would have seen please let me finish my statement. We would have seen a very different.
Give me an example
of the Central Park, the exonerated 5.
Well, first of all, 5 of them didn't go to prison. It was
wow, straight to deflection. Wow. That is straight to deflection. Oh, man.
Central Park 5.
We would have seen a very different.
Give me an example
of the Central Park, the exonerated 5.
Well, first of all, 5 of them didn't go to prison. It was Central Park 5. Only 4 of them went to prison.
It was actually 6 of them, and 5 of them went to prison. And I'm not.
And let me tell you how they went to prison.
I'm not going to quibble with you.
You won't give context.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. One at a time.
You asked for an example. I'm not going to quibble with you and say, well, they're called the exonerated 5 and only 4 went to. I'm not going to do that. The exonerated 5. You wanted an example, I gave you an example.
That's not an equivalent example.
And there are other examples throughout history, starting with Emmett Till and going throughout
are you comparing this to Emmett Till?
You asked me.
No. Are you saying that this is equivalent to Emmett Till?
You asked me for an example.
So you're saying that it's equivalent.
Where if reversed?
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm telling you. I'm giving you examples. What I'm telling you is that if the situation were reversed, we would have seen a very different investigation from law enforcement from the actual outset. Let me interject. We as a people, when it comes as a former prosecutor, because here's the thing: you're a former police officer, and that's fine. But when it comes to after arrests are made and how prosecutions are going, that's my space. That's my lane. So I'm going to speak from my lane. And what I can tell you is we do not typically enjoy the benefit of the doubt when it comes to probable cause.
That's not true.
I'm telling you as a former prosecutor, I'm not going to tell you what it's like to be
arrest people and I deal with prosecutors.
I'm not going
to
tell you what it is.
I have to interview with the prosecutors every time there's an arrest.
Officer,
we have to go to trial.
I'm not.
Well, he's not saying that you don't know. Hold on. He's not saying that you don't know, Officer Tatum. What he's saying is from his perspective as a prosecutor, this is what he's bringing up. Now, I granted, I don't blame Officer Tatum. I don't blame Officer Tatum for bringing up, when acting incredulous when he says you'd say Emmett Till. That's 1955. Al Sharpton brought up Medgar Evers at the funeral. That's 1963. So if Officer Tatum's going to look at it and say, that's what you're bringing up, I get where he's coming from in terms of the distance between then and now. But I also get where you're coming from, Charles Coleman Jr., when you highlight, listen, from an historical perspective, we're talking about, we've seen things like this before, and those are just names that we know. There's a plethora of names that we may not have known that have transpired throughout history that have suffered some of these maladies, and we get that part too. Go ahead, Officer Tatum, floor is yours.
But what I'm saying is that you cannot project that. It's unfair to project that. You can have it in your subconscious that there has been things that have been done wrong, but you got to treat these things fairly. You cannot go out and project that somehow the sheriff is a racist and he's not going to do right by these boys. That's not right. Let the investigation ensue. And then if you see impropriety in the investigation, then you can project that. But listen, they interviewed you just said they interviewed 60 people. They interviewed all these boys the day of. Like, what did they do wrong? They did an autopsy.
Officer Tatum, respectfully, what about those who would say the same or would ask the same question about you? Are you being fair? Because just like you have.
Okay. Put your gloves on. Moderate this ish. Make sure y'all hand the goddamn like of the share button. That's right, Stephen A. Moderate this ish. I like it. Make them answer some hard questions. He been getting a chance to pussyfoot around this whole goddamn conversation. Make him answer some goddamn tough questions too. Let's go, Stephen.
People out there that are elevating their level of suspicion and jumping to some sort of conclusion attached to guilt as it pertains to the death of Nolan Wells. You're coming across as somebody who's assuming these individuals that were in attendance with him were innocent because of your conversations with them, as opposed to not getting the full context the way Charles Coleman Jr. just highlighted.
No, yeah, I accept people saying that, but let me tell you that I saw proof. I'm not just taking somebody's account for it. And I'm not saying that nobody didn't kill Nolan. I'm telling you the people that they...
What? Now you want to save your ass and say, I'm not saying that somebody didn't delete him. You just want to say the people that was in the picture didn't do it. Wow. I'm not saying somebody didn't delete Nolan Wells. I'm just saying I don't believe it was the people that was in the picture. And also he's saying he saw proof and evidence. Wow. Wow. He said he got proof and evidence. This man is biased as hell if he's saying he got proof and evidence. You insinuate that you got proof and evidence? That is crazy work.
Put it out on the internet and said these white boys were the only ones with him, and they're getting death threats. While I was out there, somebody sent the suspicious package to one of the boys' houses. They showing up at these boys' houses saying that they killed them. Go look on the internet and look at any of these videos. They got the boy pictures up there saying they had something to do with his death. They're claiming they deleting text messages. All of this stuff is incredibly ridiculous. When I went out and I said, show me the proof then. Not just what you say, show me the proof. And
where's your proof? You said you got the proof and the evidence. That's number one. Number two, the thing that you are missing, Tatum, and people that is on Tatum's side, if we, the people, wasn't up in arms about this case in the first place, They would not have did a proper investigation. That is the main issue that they keep on glancing over. That's why people like Ben Crump had to be brought in, because they are checking to see if civil rights was violated, because they did not pick up the case properly from the beginning. If people didn't put so much light onto the situation, this case would have been swept up to the rug long time ago. So that is the part that you are absolutely 100% is missing. It's not about it. It's about that they are not handling this case correctly until they got the spotlight on them.
And these kids are showing proof. The lawyers are showing proof that they had nothing to do with this. They have a Life 360 just like Nolan did. Their Life 360 showed that they were not on the island, or at least, you know, the young man that I interviewed, he wasn't even on the island. I saw his Life 360. So, I mean, these kids, they shouldn't have done these boys like this. They should let the investigation go and then make their accusations.
So you're highlighting specifically, you're not even saying, like you just said, you're not even saying that Nolan Wells, that some vile act, that he wasn't murdered. You're saying that these boys, those are the ones that are being unfairly scrutinized and villainized by this whole ordeal. That's what you're saying, Officer Tatum. Is that accurate?
Yes, Stephen.
And go. So now, for all the people that are saying there's no foul play found, Officer Tatum is saying that there's a strong possibility of foul play. You can't make this shit up. Officer Tatum is saying that there is a strong possibility of foul play, just not by these particular boy that he is interviewed. He is not. So I don't understand why anybody else, if Officer Tatum is saying I'm not taking foul play off the table, why are so many people are attempting to take foul play off the table? Just in case, so y'all can hear him say it himself.
Act that he wasn't murdered. You say
make their accusations.
So you're highlighting specifically. You're not even saying, like you just said, you're not even saying that Nolan Wells, that some vile act, that he wasn't murdered. You're saying that these boys.
Okay, so he's saying that it is a possibility of foul play. So why are y'all so convinced that it's not, when this man is clearly saying that it is a possibility of foul play? Why y'all so quick to say there's no foul play? I'm interested. All the people that were saying that it was foul play, now Officer Tatum is also saying that it's a possibility of foul play. Do you disagree with Officer Tatum? Do y'all disagree with Officer Tatum that it's possibility of foul play? Officer Tatum's position now is that it just wasn't his four friends. It could have been somebody else. Officer Tatum did not exclude foul play.
These boys, those are the ones that are being unfairly scrutinized and villainized by this whole ordeal. That's what you're saying, Officer Tatum. Is that accurate?
Yes, Stephen A. There were black kids there who now getting threats online too for coming out and saying something. But nobody's saying, what did these black kids have anything to do with it? The young girl he was kicking it with, they don't have her name out there. Well, her name is Katie, but I'm not gonna say her full name. I don't want her to get doxxed. They not nobody talking about her. She said she was the last one. I mean, she at least mentioned that she was with him. The boy showed me text messages from her.
Anybody gonna call him out saying that, you know, the few black people that was there that they could have possibly did it? Anybody's gonna call that out? This is Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Mm. Still need 20. We need 18 more likes. Mm.
She's saying that she was with him. Like, why ain't nobody coming at? How nobody coming at her?
I've seen, and this is where we get. This is where it gets dangerous, right? The importance in this moment is to focus on the integrity of the overall process. And when I say the overall process, I'm referring to the investigation because I knew that the girl's name was Katie. I don't know her last name, and I knew it because there were people who I was seeing in the comment sections that I had on videos that I had done updating people about the case who were asking the same questions that you have. People,
but Benjamin Crump isn't.
Please. So here's the thing, which is why when you're trying to, and at the end of the day, listen, you don't know what Benjamin Crump is doing as far as investigating a case. The same way that you talked about, you know, with an investigation, there are certain things that you don't reveal. You don't know what that team of lawyers are doing with respect to trying to ascertain the facts.
I reached out to them.
When it comes to, did they answer you or did they not answer you?
Well, they answered us on the last one and refused to respond to us. I mean, they refused to engage with us.
They don't owe you, and they don't owe you that.
Well, which is fine. Well, don't act like you're trying to get to the bottom of something.
So again,
don't act like you're trying to get to the bottom of something.
Don't do the thing to them that you are accusing other people of doing.
He said he's trying to get to the bottom of it.
Don't make assumptions that
I'm not
for
assuming.
them. No, you are. You're like, well, they're not doing this, and they're trying to make this.
They're not reaching out to the boys.
They have not spoken to you.
They haven't spoken to the boys.
Charles, in fairness, at least answer this question. If indeed it's to be found out that there's been no attempt by whether it's Sharp.
Come on, not if. Not if was a fifth, we all be drunk. Ah, man. Shout out to Too Strong for Life with the eagle. Mm. Mm.
Then or Benjamin Crump or anybody else to reach out to the actual boys who were supposed to be in attendance with Nolan Wells, as Officer Tatum just highlighted. Do you feel that that's the right path that they should be taking if they're raising suspicions, calling for a more thorough and open investigation, etc., and they haven't made personal attempts to reach out to these young men themselves? Do you think that that would be the right thing to do?
I can't think
To ask Officer Tatum's question.
Sure, I can't imagine that legal team would look to bring a lawsuit without having attempted to at least try to get some investigative answers from these boys. Now, when in this process they do it is a different question, because at the end of the day, the more information you have, the more informed questions you can ask. And the chances are you're not going to get multiple bites at that apple. So from a strategic place, what I can tell you is that, yes, I would fully expect that at some point they would endeavor to reach out to these boys, but it may not be this point because they may be waiting for additional information so that they can actually ask better questions. They're not going to get.
Why are you shaking your head? What's the issue? What is the issue of them gathering information? Why are people acting as if these people gathering information is such a strong issue? That they should not be questioning anything and anybody. They should just accept your son drowned trying to chase some pussy. Why should these parents accept that? Why should these parents accept that?
They're not going to get multiple chances to do it. So when you do it, you want to make sure that you're doing it the best way you can. And the only way to do that is to have the information that you need in order to ask the best questions.
Charles, they drug these boys through the mother freaking mud. They put their faces online. Benjamin Crump shared this video or this picture of them in a swimming pool. That happened. That event was a week before July 4th. He didn't do no due diligence to check with anybody before he started putting this stuff out there. Then what he do is he go, I had people saying that the argument was Nolan Wells asking for his phone back. He didn't talk to Tristan, who I interviewed. Tristan said on NBC, that was me, or ABC, that was me. That was not Nolan. But Benjamin Crump still to this day haven't came out and said, we found out that it was another young man. He pushed this stuff on these boys and they getting death threats. That stuff is not right. Benjamin should be more responsible. But the reason
I'm not here to talk about Nolan Wells' lawyer. I'm here to talk about why Nolan Wells is dead.
But let's get to this
conversation.
Let's get to the phones.
Go ahead.
The phones getting deleted. Because Al Sharpton came out there and said the mama had to go and search the phone down with GPS and Life 360. No, she didn't. The boy showed text messages, or the parents showed text messages of them communicating with his mom. She refused. And then they go and say they deleted. The boys say, the boys told me it could be not true or not. I don't know. They got to figure it out. They go.
What you mean it could be true or not? What you mean you don't know if it's true or not? So why are you bringing us information that you have no idea if it's true or not? I thought you had evidence. I thought you had the smoking gun.
We didn't touch his phone. His phone went from the boat to the car with everybody else's phone. And when they came to get the phone, we got the phone out of the car and gave it to another young man's mom who came to get the other young man's phone. They said, we don't know Nolan's password. How will we get in his phone and delete anything?
Now that is an interesting point. There's only a couple of ways you could get into that phone. Either Face ID or fingerprint. And if they got into his phone, they needed his face or his fingerprint. Simple and plain. It's one of the two. I agree with you, Officer Tatum. If they was able to get in his phone, it's only two ways to do it.
Now, why is them not coming on TV and saying there was no password or they had to get through his phone?
Let me ask you this question. Based on your investigation, I'm asking you this. I'm thinking of any parent that loses their child wants to get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
They don't care if the villain is white, black, or whatever. Their child is dead. They want the culprit. So when you see Al Sharpton eulogizing and announcing that there's $100,000 reward, when you see that Tyler Perry agreed to pay for the funeral and put up half of the reward, when you see guys like Spike Lee and Terrell Owens in attendance, and Terrell Owens, I think, dedicated $25,000, if I remember correctly, according to the reports that I've read, and you see Benjamin Crump in attendance, and you're talking about civil rights lawyers being in attendance, like you just pointed out. My question to you, Officer Tatum, and Charles, you can follow up based on the answer that he provides. My question to you is, why do you think the parents decided to go that route, Officer Tatum, based on your investigation in terms of allowing all of those folks to be so intimately involved in this situation? What are your thoughts about that? What comes to your mind, particularly based on your investigation, talking to the actual parties supposedly involved?
There's two thoughts that come to my mind. One is that Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump are manipulating this family's trauma.
Wow. Wow. So everybody else is doing these things except for you. So they raise baiting, you not. They are trying to manipulate off a trauma, you are not. Why y'all keep talking about crime? Why y'all keep talking about things that doesn't have anything to do with this? Al Sharpton cannot be everywhere all at once. We cannot have a conversation about every single thing all at once. Those people that do black on black crime, they go to jail. Why y'all keep asking about what happens on black crime, right? The black folks killing black folks, like they do not go to jail. Y'all cannot be this slow. They go to jail. Like, so I don't know why y'all keep bringing up and pointing the finger away from the thing that we are reviewing. Like, I don't understand, why do y'all want, when we are talking about a specific topic, why we have to start talking about another topic? You don't need to point fingers at something else. We understand that, yes, crime in the inner city with black gang violence is very detrimental to our neighborhood. I don't know why you want to talk about that when we're talking about this. I don't know.
In order for them to make a crap ton of money. That's one. The second one is the parents trying to cash in on this because, and it's the reason why I say this.
Wow.
Why did Nolan Wells' mama say, I don't know these kids? These boys showed me pictures and video and text of them staying over his house, or at least the young boy Tristan, staying over his house multiple times. She went to...
Woo! That's crazy. Yeah, but again, I don't know why y'all keep trying to take the conversation away from what we're watching right now. We also know there's plenty of white folks that kill black folks that never get caught, and they get away with it every single day. How about that? Since y'all want to point fingers at things that don't have anything to do with this case. We know that it is Caucasian men that kill black women every day, never get caught. We know it is some Caucasian man kidnapping somebody right now and never get caught. Since y'all want to point fingers at other conversations for some strange reason. The same thing that you can do, I could do the same thing and point fingers in something else, but I'm not pointing fingers towards anybody else. It's always going to be somebody that got away with some nefarious things. We understand that. Nobody's excusing those things. So, like, we got to stop acting as if somebody's trying to excuse other situations. We're not. We're just maintaining the conversation today.
School with one of the other boys' mama, graduated high school with her. They showed me the yearbook. Why is she saying this? Why Al Sharpton don't know this boy? Why is he eulogizing him at his funeral? Ain't never met Nolan a day in his life. You know, why are they saying we're gonna give $100,000 to somebody who give us information to lead to an arrest? What if Nolan drowned? They don't care about him drowning. You know, and then also, why?
What you mean, what if? What you mean, what if? We should know. Didn't they do an autopsy? And why they didn't give those organs to the independent contractor that was going to do the autopsy so they could make a decision over the same body parts? That's the issue that we have in Officer Tatum, that Mississippi is dropping the ball, or was dropping the ball.
We don't do this for any other young men who have lost their lives at the hands of other people other than white people. Why we coming together?
Charles, I'm going to give you the floor, Charles. Charles, I'm going to give you the floor in a second. But Officer Tatum, it's one thing I want to make sure that I give you an opportunity to clarify, because it's one thing to feel what you feel about Benjamin Crump, Reverend Al Sharpton, etc. It's another thing entirely to lump the parents who just lost their child.
But I know it's sensitive.
Talking about they're trying to profit.
I know
off
it's
this.
sensitive.
You sure you want to say that? Is what I'm saying. You sure you want to say that?
Let me be clear about this. You asked me what my thoughts were. I didn't say that that was facts.
I know.
Wow. I can't believe he did that in real time. You just said suspicion is an accusation. You look. I need to drink some water. I need to drink some freaking water. This man, Officer Tatum, in this same stream said, suspicion, no. Stephen A. Smith said, suspicion is accusation. And then now Officer Tatum is going to literally throw suspicion on that family, on that mom and daddy, like they doing something nefarious and trying to get some money out of they. I'm not talking about myself, Ricky. So why you know what? Easy block party. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man. That y'all got to come here and not talk about the actual subject that you want to talk about me. I need y'all to learn how to act straight at least. Yeah, you coming here straight talking about me is crazy.
About they're trying to profit.
I know it's
this.
sensitive.
You sure you want to say that? Is what I'm saying. You sure you want to say that?
Let me be clear about this. You asked me what my thoughts were. I didn't say that that was facts. I just said these are my thoughts based on. I'm saying based on a few factors, right?
Okay.
There ain't no reason for Al Sharpton to be doing that boy's eulogy when Al never knew him.
That's not even your call or your business to make.
What I'm saying is that if I die, my daddy. If I die,
that's you. Respect the choices that family made.
Let him speak.
If I get killed,
that family had a choice.
Why?
And who is that? Why is that? They don't have to answer to you. That's not.
They don't. But I have an opinion.
That's that family.
Okay.
I don't even understand why that family chose to eulogize their fallen son.
What is
any of your business to have any commentary about?
Well, you can't tell me that because it don't seem normal. It don't seem normal to me.
Anyone they wanted to.
It don't seem normal. It don't seem normal to me for a man that don't even preach sermons to do a eulogy for a boy that he didn't know.
Okay, we're going off the rails, guys. We're going off the rails. We're going off the rails because Charles, I know you got to get ready to go. We're running out of time, so I'm just going to give this last question to both of y'all. Officer Tatum, I'm going to give you the word, and then Charles Coleman, I'm going to give you the last word. What are your expectations of what is going to come of this when all is said and done, based on the evidence that we know? Charles, Officer Tatum, I'll go with you first. Charles, I'll give you the last word.
And I'll try to make this succinct. I think we're going to find that the law enforcement agency did a fair investigation, that they did things right all the way through the process, and that none of this will lead to any of what Al Sharpton them said it was and alluded that it was, and they will get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan, and it will be clean, it will be professional, and it will be the same result without the interference with activists and people out here hoodwinking. I think that they're going to find out what happened to Nolan, and it's not going to be Al Sharpton. It's not going to be Benjamin Crump. It's going to be the law enforcement agencies that go out and do this stuff every single day, that does an investigation, that's going to be forensically looked through the cell phone, that's going to interview 60 people and find out what happened to Nolan. And they're going to be able to say, was it somebody that did something nefarious to Nolan? They're going to be prosecuted. If Nolan drowned, they're going to let the family know he drowned. That's going to be the totality of this investigation, which didn't have nothing to do with this race stuff and had nothing to do with these activists coming out and making money on the death of another black boy.
Charles, I'll give you the last word because I know you got to go.
Sure. Thank you, Stephen A. I don't necessarily know what will come of the case. I am and continue to be invested in the integrity of the process, number one, so that it sets a precedent of getting to the facts and having objective information disseminated to the public in a way that's honest, truthful, and transparent. What I will say is that it's disappointing to sit and listen to Brandon talk about the same type of aspersions being cast on Benjamin Crump, on Al Sharpton, in the same way that they are advocating for answers for Nolan Wells, that he has railed against the same type of characterizations going in reverse. A split mirror image of the type of vitriol that you are decrying against the survivors in this instance being spewed at Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. And I don't necessarily think that gets us anywhere, and it's not productive when you're talking about getting to the bottom of this and understanding what actually happened to Nolan Wells. So for me, I hope that the dialogue can be more tempered, where we're not trying to characterize people in either direction, but we're trying to insist on getting to the bottom of things and looking for the facts.
Spirited discussion, that's what it's all about. Two opposite points of view, but I appreciate.
Yeah. All right, Stephen A. You didn't do too bad today. You didn't do too bad today, Stephen A. Smith. You didn't completely disappoint me. Elite Belzo 1 with the 10 hours for the show. Thank you so much, Elite Belzo. Always holding me down. Thank you so much. Not Carlton. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Not Carlton. Man. We didn't even make it to 90 likes. Dang. Shit.
Appreciate both of y'all time. I know y'all got a lot more to say, but I know, Charles, at least in your case, you got to get on out of here. Officer Tatum, I could tell you chomping at the bit. I got a lot more to say. You know you're always welcome back on the show. I really appreciate both of y'all taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope this was productive. I think it was a productive conversation, regardless of the disagreements and where we are right now. Still searching for the facts to really, really get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan Wells. But I thank y'all both so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen A. Thanks, Charles.
All right,
take
y'all.
care, Brandon.
Wow. That was a riveting conversation, to say the least. Officer Tatum went to Mississippi, said he's spoken to several of the people in attendance, and is appalled by folks jumping to a conclusion that this was a race issue, and clearly questioned why was Al Sharpton there giving the eulogy? Why is Benjamin Crump, a civil rights attorney, involved if indeed this was a criminal case? Charles Coleman Jr., the legal mind on this panel, clearly stated that Officer Tatum doesn't know specifically why they're involved, doesn't know specifically who they've spoken to, who they've attempted to reach out to, or whether or not their investigation is indeed finished, and had a problem with the narrative that he felt Officer Tatum was trying to create. No matter what way you slice it, here's the bottom line.
Okay, what's the bottom line?
An 18-year-old kid is dead, and inexplicably so.
Right.
And somehow, some way, we need to get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned.
Woo! I'm proud of you, Stephen A. Smith.
I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned. I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned. I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned. I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned.
Shiesty.
I find it very, very
Shiesty
hard
Bum.
to believe that he just drowned. I find it very, very hard to believe that he just drowned. I find it very, very hard to believe that there was no foul play involved. I find it very, very hard to believe that there was no foul play involved. I find it very, very hard to believe that there was no foul play involved. I find it very, very hard to believe that there was no foul play involved. Even Officer Tatum himself said there may indeed have been foul play involved. Himself said there may indeed have been foul play. Even Officer Tatum himself said there may indeed have been foul play. Officer Tatum himself said there may indeed have been foul play involved. He was just challenging whether or not
I just want to make
it was
sure
the
you
three
heard it,
white
Shiesty.
kids that people say were with Nolan Wells all by their lonesome, when in fact, according to Officer Tatum, there were other people there, some of whom happened to be.
So I guess Stephen A. Smith is a race hustler now too. I guess Stephen A. Smith is a race hustler now too. This is crazy. What up, Claudette? I guess Stephen A. Smith is a race hustler too. No, it's just something about this seems fishy, and we need to get to the bottom of it so we won't look at it as fishy anymore. That's all. Me, Stephen A. Smith, we in the same thing. Like, it's hard to believe the things that is no foul play. It's hard to believe that this young man drowned. That's all. Just prove it, and then we will move on. But at the moment, it's difficult to believe. It's very hard to believe.
Black. And he was making the case, who's to say that those were the only people involved? Who was to say that they're not innocent after all, and it was somebody else who committed a vile act that led to Nolan Wells being deceased, his funeral having taken place just a few days ago. There is no doubt that regardless of what we want to say,
I'm just surprised that, I'm surprised that Stephen A. Smith said this. Welcome to the show, TMZ Taz. I'm surprised, Taz. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Stephen A., he go back and forth, bro. You never know what you're gonna get from him, especially in these moments. I think it's the perfect positioning for him to say that with Brandon Tatum being on there. But I don't know, bro. Like, this case got me kind of mind boggled, though, Sharon. It's one of those things.
Really?
Because I don't know, bro. I feel like some of this has to go back to Nolan Wells himself. And I feel like what a lot of people are doing is placing themselves in this scenario as opposed to recognizing that these white dudes was his friends, though. As much as I don't like it, as much as I feel like it's something shady, I do believe if Nolan Wells was here, he would be saying, "Leave my friends alone." I don't think that I don't think from what I've seen of him that and his family, his parents, like I just don't know that they're as adamant about the issues of race that we are in this case. And so it seems like the benefit of it in this case is what we see, but not a history of it as they lived it. You know what I'm saying? It's like call being crump because the community will get behind it because we black, but we never had to put no skin in the game before now. You know, so that it kind of bothers me, man, because it's almost like I say, are they just using us to, in which again, I don't think it's wrong. I think awareness should be raised, but how much of it is genuine from their end? They run with these white people. They, you know what I'm saying? They was around, they stay friends, they people. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much of it we on the outside are interfering in terms of the truth. You know what I'm saying? How much of this goes back to them already being cool and something bad happened, now the family kind of mad about it, but willing to acknowledge their history of friendship with some of these people just because there is something suspicious.
Yeah. And I understand that for the family because, you know, it don't seem like the mother is really all into having a conversation about race. However, it's gone past what the family want. Somebody is moving towards where the community is taking over the case.
Right.
It's sad that, you know, she is not understanding of the moment. The father is not understanding at the moment. He's probably from a different place as well. Maybe that's why he's not understanding at the moment as well. But the community is attempting to take it over and just get a W from it. If it is foul play, to make these people do the right thing, do their job properly. Stop having this Bible Belt of racism that we all in America act like we don't know is there. This whole idea that, you know,
Now I'm gonna say I got big smoke for the community though. And it goes back to a conversation from a few years ago with BLM. So if the issue is profiting off the deaths of young black men and boys, then why is everybody live? Why is everybody able to run a stream? Why is everybody able to talk about this one incident? But people got mad at that group for bringing multiple incidents to light. And the argument against them was they profited from the deaths of black men and boys. But I see people profiting every day right now off this Nolan Wells case with speculation. You know, like not even nothing that even drives the case to the next understanding. Is so, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm more concerned about racial awareness and how even that was downplayed up until this moment now where we got something viral and now there's no longer a conversation about the profiting of young black men and boys. Fam, that should be the same problem it was when it was BLM.
I think BLM they was doing a good job in the beginning and somewhere they lost the plot. I think that's what happened to BLM. I think they did a good job in the first few, but when they started buying those houses and shit, they started to feel themselves a little too much and they went beyond their scope of work. They should have kept it, you know. Once they got some kind of like
to an extent, but Sharon, Brent Tatum finna buy a new house off this story. Megyn Kelly, Matt Walsh, the numbers they doing off of this, they making
it's
house
insane.
money off of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
it's insane what they doing.
I mean, I get why there was such a hyper focus on black people for it, but now if you look at Carmelo and Nolan Wells and how white people use those stories, they profited off of young black men's death. And there's no structure in place to challenge that. It was like we're watching white people run up a bag talking about what we got mad at black people for raising awareness about. And I do agree, they took their money and made it, but now at least you saw partial work being done. Maybe we could have seen some more work out of BLM, but you saw something. We ain't gonna see nothing out of Megyn Kelly. You ain't gonna see nothing out of Matt Walsh. You ain't gonna see nothing out of Brandon Tatum. There's no bit they finna run up a bag off of talking about the same stories. And I just think, you know, at one point we did have some dog in the fight. And I feel like removing BLM kind of removed our voice. Who's our voice in that fight now?
That's a strong point. And we allowed it to happen. We allowed them to say that they was fraudsters and all that. And then they didn't have enough proper pushback to move it to at least combat all of the fraudulent things because they did some foul shit. The next main issue is that they have a support system for race baiting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They culture supports race baiting.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn if Tatum is telling the truth or not, or Megan Kelly and all the other names that you said that don't give a damn about our community. They race bait every day. They mad because we mad about being mad. And they could do a story all month, cashing in 100,000, 300,000 views, 500,000 views, 10,000 shares. I could be able to get I don't even know if I got 100 likes. I don't even know if I got 100 likes. And you know, I'm not race baiting. They know I'm not race baiting. But they want to try to hold the black folks accountable for race baiting, right? They want to try to hold Al Sharpton accountable for race baiting when these other people, like you said, they're going to get houses off this shit.
Right, because like
they might make $1 million one month off of this shit without no super chats. They get so much traction. They don't even need a super chat.
Like I see why people was apprehensive.
Why you not getting that same love? I don't. Because I don't understand because you give information and smoke. So it's not like you just a goody two shoes. It's not like you don't give the people what you willing to give the smoke. What is the issue?
Yeah. Al Sharpton, though, in being Crump, though, see, like, to me, they should have known that they would become targets. Like, I have an appreciation for what they do in terms of, like, getting stuff on Front Street, being able to bring it to fruition, that we will know about it, talk about it, get justice, whatever. But I do think there's a point where once it's viral, once it's known, you don't need to be affiliated with it because this is where the opposition is going to immediately go, oh, race hustler Ben Crump, race hustler Al Sharpton. And I do think there's enough there to undermine the conversation. Therefore, put the next in line up. Who's following Al Sharpton, Sharon? This nigga like 70, bro. Who's up next? Where's the young lawyer? Where's the young gun at that? You know what I'm saying? Our next in line. Who's coming behind Ben Crump as the next young civil rights attorney that's up to, because they don't need to be the faces of anything. I get that they got the apparatus behind them set up for us to get these stories out there, but let the next in line do it. Where's your second in command? Why you got to be the one? Because your name is tainted. Again, I can appreciate their ability to get it on Front Street, but once it's on Front Street with their names attached to it, Nolan Wells becomes Al Sharpton's nephew. You know what I mean? He becomes Ben Crump's son. Like, and we don't need that. We don't need people who take the light away from the actual story. The light should be on Nolan. Once you get Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, their names are too big. Their names are too big, but you've got to get the smaller entities to do some of this.
I agree that they definitely need to start making some kind of adjustments with that. I don't know if anybody's actually really ready to take on those titles. Or I don't know, we need some kind of rites of passage where Al and Ben and those people that's in those type of positions of power to start passing these things down. We need to have some kind of understanding that you need to start picking your guy. And so you start it off and you pass it off. I absolutely agree. We definitely need some kind of 30-year-old because Al and them been doing it since they was what, 30s, 20s, late 20s?
Yeah, they've been out there, bro.
Early 20s, right? Martin was early 20s.
Yeah.
So where all the young men that is willing to go ahead and that is smart enough and intelligent enough? You are what they don't have the charisma, I guess, Taz. I don't know.
And see, and well, some of that too is because Alan being should be aware of the fact at this point. I do think it's about self-grandizing, self gratification. Look at me, I'm yet here on another big case. It doesn't cross that barrier though of getting the awareness to where we need it to be, because it just becomes a race hustle. If you watch them couple interviews Officer Tatum did with them witnesses, he asking them outright about Ben Crump, and you know what I'm saying, they sitting there talking about Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. These is kids, bro. They don't know shit about Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, but to use their names like that is like there's no qualification of what they've actually done for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all they are known is for race hustling. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to qualify Ben Crump's actual work that benefits people or Al Sharpton's. They're going to be used as targets. And Nolan Wells needs attention on him, not on Al Sharpton or Ben Crump being involved. Yeah.
It's a very good take. And I can't even argue it, because half of the conversation that I was just watching on a debate, he kept bringing up Al Sharpton, misquoting Al Sharpton on purpose, trying to steer the conversation into an argument about, race baiters, even though he's the main race baiter. It's a very good observation. And and it sucks because it's like you said, we need them to bring some light to the case, but also we need them to leave so they won't take over the light of the case. Shit.
Right.
You need to get somebody that's young that can take over for speaking up for the case.
Mm-hmm. Right. That like I say, that next wave, I mean, you can't tell me you ain't got somebody working for you that's up next. I do think it's just about stealing the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? You want the spotlight on you. It's your case, it's your name, it's a national case. The same little investigators you send to go do that work. Like I said, I really do think that sometimes it's gonna be better to let them do the talking. And now every little pushback I hear on this case is about Ben Crump. It is about Al Sharpton. Nobody's really pushing back on the real conversation about these white boys sitting up drinking beer and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to question with their behaviors and whatnot afterwards, but everything's focused on Ben Crump.
Yeah. And that sucks. And they attempting that they best to not be so vocal, it seems like. They're not as vocal as they usually be.
No, they're not.
Ben Crump is kind of he being out there a little bit, but Al is definitely not being that vocal in this case. So, but their name is the main point of contention right now, in a negative way too. At that,
yeah.
So they saying that no, we too busy making money off of YouTube to go and. No, because you need certain kind of organization. No matter what we do, somebody's going to say that you're doing it off a profit anyway. If I was out on the street versus on YouTube, they're going to say, "Oh, you're only doing it for the dollar." That's what they always going to say when it comes to us. I don't know why, but that's the thing.
In the city council meeting, requesting for people to look into a case, requesting for city council to pressure the police. I've done all of that before. And, to be honest, what I find, Sharon, is there's more people to say you won't do it and haven't done it than will support you when you actually doing it.
You actually do it.
When you actually the person sitting there talking to council about a person you've never met, never heard of. You just read a terrible story about what happened to him and you want to speak up about it. The community doesn't care about that. And that's why you need a Al Sharpton or of being crump to bring light to it, because when Taz is the one going to the Joliet courthouse to speak on behalf of a black man, nobody knows it. Right? I can pull it up and show you in the newspaper, but you don't know it because I ain't being crump. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the notoriety. And so those of us who do it and have done it, it's overlooked because somebody will be quick to say, nobody does it. No, we do it, but that's the whole point of it being crump.
Or if they say no, or they would say the person that's doing it, he ain't nobody anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like if my son go ahead and do something, they're like, it's just my son. Nobody really cares about my son. He's like, bruh, like you can't win. If you're the big dog doing it, they're gonna say you're doing it for clout. If you're the small dog doing it, you ain't gonna get no kind of. And if you're the medium dog, they're gonna say nobody know you. So it's like, damn, goddamn. Like you got to be a name for it to happen, but people don't want to allow you to even build up your name for it to happen.
Well, Dollar Washer, one problem that I think y'all don't get about advocating for black men and boys is you have to go against black men to advocate for black men and boys, because that's who's harming them. That's who's leaving them to be raised by single mothers. I mean, do you really want me to go 2022 on you? You really want me to put my 2021 bag? Come on, bro. Like I say, we try to advocate for black men and boys, but let's be real. When we see it, look what happens. People try to grandstand. Look at these 100 videos on TikTok that people making, just making up shit. I think that's Nolan's voice. Fam, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need people that really care about Nolan and care about the facts and care about how this plays out, not people who just trying to get a bag. And I'm saying it's easier these days to say black, 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 and never even care about the outcome. That's a problem. And I'm super pro-black, but I'm not pro-black like that. I'm pro-black for real, in the sense that I want to see the best for us, not in the sense that we gonna lie and make up shit and push the envelope out further to make it more difficult. If the truth is he drowned, so be it. I'm fine with that. Right. But now they've made it to where we can't trust that. We can't trust that. Yes. Even if that's the final determination, we can't trust that because of the way the witnesses played this. I just need us to understand why we, come at things the way we do. Like, it's not just, it's white people, so blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's kind of looks shady, fam. It looks shady. And I hate Nolan was so tied into these dudes. Because, Sharon, that's the issue I have in trying to report all this, is these was his dudes. So it's difficult for me to say they're just lying when they got pictures and years and celebrations with him. And this is actually their friend, you know what I'm saying? And he was cool with him like that. So it's like, although I feel like something nefarious is there, nothing really points to that, though, other than my gut feeling. Yeah. I'm willing to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because we know friends, every now and then they do some nefarious shit. And this could be one of those cases.
Or Sharon, I thought about something too that just as something, because I was telling my wife last night, it could be as something as simple as they drunk or whatever, high, he fell off the boat, they couldn't save him. Now they trying to come up with some scenario. Those aren't friends either way. Like, there's no way July 5th and 6th they wasn't on TikTok crying out to the world, where is my friend? You went and got lawyers. Yeah, that ain't that. My friends wouldn't have did that.
That ain't normal. Yeah, that ain't normal. What's your thoughts on this new video, this audio call that is enhanced, and it got those people talking in the background before the actual dispatcher answered the phone call?
Yeah, I was messing with it yesterday, Sharon. What I was doing, man, I listened to it. I listened to the slowed down version. I went back and listened to the original. Sharon, I don't hear what people saying, bro. Nolan, get up. Oh my God, he's dead. I don't hear none of that, bro. I feel like that's, again, that might be a little too much in terms of trying to get justice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if we need to force it with that type. I mean, it sounds like back in the day when you would chop and screw a song or play a record backwards, something like that. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't, it's not crispy enough to bring it home for me. And so I know why people are saying it. I can hear some of the garbled things that's being said, but it's too far at a distance to definitively say that that's what's being said because they're on a sinking boat. I expect them to be panicking, right? And so I don't want to lie.
In that audio, did you hear them say his name, Nolan?
No, I don't hear Nolan. Okay. I don't hear Nolan at all. And I'm saying I went back and listened to the one with the music over it, the one with the music off of it, slowed down one. I looked at it with the transcript thing up as they're saying this is what's being said. It sounds like a reach to me, Sharon.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, with all this new technology, it's hard for anybody to believe anything that we hear and see nowadays. So I could get with it. I can understand that you skeptical. I get it, because we don't want to because so many times we done got caught jumping out the window, and then now we got we look stupid with egg on our face because we jump out the window. In this case
alone, Sharon, remember when Nolan was in a fight, they come back and had a dude come and say, nah, he wasn't in the fight. Oh, they took his keys and his phone. Well, no, he left his phone there. He never had his phone with him, or he never had his keys with him, right? And he left his phone on the boat, they say. So, and then you get them to come back and say, well, no, this is what happened. They have a built-in foundation to argue their points. I don't know if we're able to combat that because we're on offense. If you get what I'm saying, the TikTok videos that's being made to say what happened and blah, blah, blah. We're on offense. I think they should be the ones on offense. We're supposed to be on defense saying what we think based on what they said on offense. But right now, we're coming up with all the scenarios and they're just able to come out and say, no, that's not true. No, here's why. No. It should be the other way around.
Shout out to Titan Wise. But Taz, does his association warrant the fact we should be suspect?
Does his association warrant the fact that we shouldn't be suspect? Well, I mean, that's where I think it's dangerous at, right? Because that's where I'm 50-50 at. I think absolutely we should be suspect. I mean, it don't look right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just sound crazy. It look crazy. Something don't look right. But I don't think we're supposed to just be discounting his association with them as we're friends. This is what we always do. We always together. He would have trusted them. And he would have trusted them more than I'm willing to trust them. And I have to acknowledge that going into this. And that again, even if they did do something to him, where are we going to deal with that part of the conversation? That because he trusted them. That's still relevant in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like some of it is being left out, Shadow, when we don't have the complete conversation. Because even if I say, yeah, if they did it to him, the next layer of that conversation is, what about your friends? Or friends, how many of us have them? You know what I'm saying? It's still another conversation to be held, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing is like, we could be suspect, but the conversation right now is kind of stopping at the boat. And it's like, bro, if those are his friends and he was rocking with them like that to the point where we can see how he was rocking with them and what they're displaying, they making it look suspect. And with that, it's another conversation to be held. Because let's say they don't, if nothing comes of this, what we gonna say forever? Just Nolan was killed and that's it. We're not gonna have the next layer of conversation. Be careful, friends, know who you're going out on the boat with. You know what I'm saying? There's another conversation behind this.
Yeah, I think self-awareness should be the most important part in this conversation for sure. Because I think a lot of people are not self-aware of their surroundings and where they at, and even your so-called friends can do some unfriendly shit to you where you could lose your life. And then now they covering their own ass just so they don't go to jail. Like for example, that other oh man, I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. But the other kid that we had covered, who was in the same situation.
Oh, Daniel Irving.
Yes, Mr. Irving. Because it doesn't seem like it was foul play. It was just the fact that they covered everything up.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly. They know what happened to him, but they didn't want to be on the hook for it. So they lied and took his phone, took his clothes, and got rid of it. And again, they didn't necessarily unalive him. Their actions afterwards are illegal. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you were there, you were associated with it, and for some reason you distanced yourself from it, and these were friends. Your friend just did some dumb shit. And again, if that's my friend, bruh, I'm gonna tell the police, man, this nigga jumped off the motherfucking bridge into the water and fucking drowned, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on. Like, I don't know where he is. I'm going to snap. I'm not gonna go hide his stuff, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Neither.
Like, and so Ron, to me, that's what leads to the next layer of speculation. Did he jump? You see what I'm saying? This is why we speculate on this type. Did he actually jump? Because why are you covering it up? If he jumped in and was just going for a regular swim, jumping off the bridge like y'all normally do, as some local shit look like, then why lie? It seems to be something
That's
more
the
there because he lied, you know?
Right. Could it be some drug thing? Could it be some, what nonsense teenager shit that y'all did that y'all feel like y'all had to cover it up and y'all scared? If y'all didn't do no foul play.
Yep. If there's no foul play, there's nothing to cover up if there's no foul play. And again, for me, it's a question of why we had to wait till July 27th to hear from so-called friends. If y'all was gonna talk, y'all should have been talking July 5th, 6th, 7th,
Long
8th.
time ago.
Like, this is late.
Super late. And what's your thoughts on them not going to the funeral?
Yeah, I heard the excuses for that. It just, I guess, I can lend a little credence to it, but I'm not from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a possibility that somebody come and, shoot a funeral up and we done went to the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been a possibility of things happening at the funeral and that didn't stop people from going. So, maybe that's just them or whatever, but I really don't buy that. I'm like, if this is my last time to go and honor a friend, yeah, we gonna be there, fam. And we like whatever speculation or whoever looking, whatever they's gonna be looking. This is it for my friend though. This is the last hoorah. Like, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. I also thought it was very interesting to see the amount that it wasn't that many of Caucasians at this goddamn funeral. So that made me put another side out on the parents. Like, so like y'all was trying to be this whole protecting the white folks and all this shit, but when it came down to it, there's only black folks at the goddamn wedding. I mean, at the funeral.
Right.
That was that kind of it left a bad taste in my mouth. I was feeling a certain way.
It's still some of them underlying issues that's not really being discussed. Because I don't know if you've seen that interview with the Tristan dude, but like he spent a good chunk of that interview attacking black people in the black community. He spent a good chunk of that interview attacking black people, and it was kind of under the guise of I'm supposed to be black and we're supposed to be a close-knit community, but they telling me I ain't black enough, and you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. So I don't know if you've seen that, but it kind of gives the again the impression like he had an underlying issue with the black community. This is supposed to be
That's
Nolan Wells'
interesting.
friend.
PZ ain't going. There was a video I watched by a psychologist that said the lack of curiosity about what happened is a red flag.
The lack of
Absolutely
curiosity.
red flag.
Yeah, I mean that sound about right. I mean, because even myself, like I said, I don't really like the conspiratorial stuff. It kind of reminds me of like the Kanika Jenkins case. I ain't really into that conspiracy stuff like that because it takes away from what actually happened to the person. But I've been kind of reeled into this one because I do want to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like,
yeah, I
damn,
definitely want to know what
happen?
happened. I tried to jump in and jump out of it as doing content on it. It's kind of hard to stay away from it because it seems like every day is something new coming up, some new speculation. So it's kind of hard to stay away from it. But and plus the YouTube algorithm wants you to talk about it. Like that's clear as day that the YouTube wants you to talk about it. That's clear.
Yeah.
You talk about something else, you know, your numbers looking like it's when you first started again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like clearly YouTube is telling us to talk about it.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know who's that. Who was Hyena Queen? Y'all wild. He said only my white side has been there for me. That was crazy, bro. He said only my white side of the family has been there for me. That there was saying that to Brandon Tatum was crazy, bro.
especially at that moment, right? Like it's like, all right, you can have that feeling, but that's not the place to say that, bro.
Yeah, that was shocking, bro. It just isn't it's like he got the layup with this one. I feel like again, that's why I had to get a black community a little bit of smoke on it. Because it was like, fam, we can't just keep speculating on stuff like this. It gives this dude the layup to come and say, all right, well, I'm finna clear it all up. Let me bring the white boys together to debunk everything y'all done said. Nah, let's get our stories right. Let's get on the same page. Let's get on one accord before we come public. Like, we don't need 35 conspiracies because they just gonna pick one and then debunk that one. They'll ignore the real shit we asking, but they gonna pick the best one, the loudest stupid conspiracy, and that's the one they'll go after. They not gonna deal with the legitimate questions. Let's get on one accord is my thing. But you know how it go, bro. It's too much money in content creation, Sharon. Like you gotta
it is
you come up with a better story.
I would love if we get some of it, Taz. We need some more of it, goddamn it. We need some of these goddamn 2,000 people, 5,000 people in our goddamn streams too. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just got to keep grinding because I feel like the counterculture is winning right now, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I think when Trump gets out of office, fam, I think this counterculture is going to fall flat, and it's just
and that's when it's going to be our turn.
Yeah, we gotta wait it out. We gotta grind it out and just stay vigilant, bro. Because that counterculture right now, this go after black people, black fatigue, black people are the problem, black this, black that. That a lot of that has to do with what's in place right now. Like I think we gotta weather the storm. You know what I mean?
Man, like that shit is just like the ticket, bro. It is the ticket. I was arguing with some, like it's the ticket, bro. I'm like, dang. I'll be wanting to be shiesty, like fuck it.
We gotta weather the storm, man.
All right, go. I'm gonna get up out of here. This was a good one. I think I'm glad that I was very shocked that Stephen A. Smith actually played it closer to the other side. I thought he's gonna lean a little bit stronger on Officer Tatum's side, but he did. I was surprised. So, you know, that just goes to show how much of uncertainty this case has, that even somebody like Stephen A. Smith is like, hey, man, this is just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
I
weird.
think Stephen A. He did a smart thing on this one. And that's just taking the opposite side of Tatum. I still question though, again, if they don't, you know, if they don't talk about this stuff before they go live, you know what I mean? If you know, if it ain't just a play, bro, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, have a good day, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you more, man. Like, hey, I think I don't know if there's anybody left besides me and you, to be honest, that's attempted to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I'll be looking around. I'm like, man, this should be looking tough. Shit is rough.
It is. It is, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. Yeah, it is. It's normal, bro. That's what I say. Stay vigilant, because yeah, it's gonna be these times where it's just us.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We out of here to tomorrow, maybe later on today. I'm not sure, but we up out of here. Thank you, TMZ Tabs, for stopping by. I appreciate that. He didn't leave me up here by myself today. Thank you for MJ for jumping up here. Thank you for Shadow the Time Was. Thank you for everybody that was in the comment section holding it down, disagreeing, agreeing, and all that. We enjoy all of it. As long as we can stick to the topic, hey, we accept all commentary. As long as we stick to the topic, that's all that matters. We don't have to have an echo chamber. So I appreciate y'all. See you soon.
Nothing wrong with being. Let me